All right. Hi, assalamualaikum, and good evening, everyone. My name is Hajar, and I will be the moderator for a deal or grill session for tonight. Okay, so first thing first, is it my voice loud and clear? So if yes, please give me emoticons thumbs up so that I know on my side everything is doing good. Okay, I hope that my voice is clear because I feel like some sort of in my throat a bit. Okay, great, amazing. Thank you so much for the response. Okay, so with that, welcome on board to our DOG. This one is edition about 500K to above 1 million ringgit. Okay, so for those who are watching us through YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, and as well as Facebook, so I would like to encourage you guys. So please join us through our Zoom session, because if you're joining us through our session, you get a chance to ask questions during a live Q&A session at the end. Okay, so before I proceed further, may I know who is the first time here? So if you guys are the first time, can you put 1 in the chat so that I know? Because usually when it's come to the OG session, usually it's not the first timer. Well, okay, a lot of first timer here, right? Wow, okay. So usually it's like second time or like third time, and more than that lah. Okay, so all right. Okay, thank you so much for attending for tonight. I'm excited for you guys as a first timer joining here. So for tonight, okay, this is what we are going to learn. So the first one is you are going to learn about real property comparison. So see what you truly get at 500K versus 1 million ringgit property. And then what are the best buys of 2025, which we are going to pick across the market, reviewed and ranked. Okay, and is it for own stay? Is it good for your own stay or investment? So through here you can understand what fits your financial goals, and then what are the red flags to avoid. Okay, and please don't fall for overpriced or risky deals. And last but not least, you guys are going to have live Q&A session, get direct answers to your questions from our experts. Okay, so before I call upon our CEO of Far Capital, so there are a few things, a few rules that I'm going to read about. So the first one is there will be basically no recording given, but if you wish to watch this session again, so you guys can go to our YouTube channel. You guys can watch that over there lah. Okay, so we are going to upload this video through our YouTube channel. Okay, second, please do not share your personal information. Keep it to yourself, yeah, okay? And please do not share. We will answer questions that only related for tonight, okay? And lastly, if you have any question, so please put your questions below through the Q&A box at the down there, okay? All right. And then I think that's all the rules for tonight. So are you guys ready? If you guys ready, please give me emoticon thumbs up before I call upon our CEO to start this session. So boss, are you ready? Jeng jeng jeng. Di manakah bos kita pada hari ini? FR, are you ready? Tak keluar lagi guys.
Kejap.
Okay.
Okay, nampak ke? Can hear no?
Alright, can.
Okay. Alright,
Okay.
Assalamualaikum. Very good evening everyone. So apa tu? Tonight punya session will be actually a little bit special. Yeah, will be a little bit special. Right? And why is it a little bit special for tonight here is that I think tonight will be the first time we're actually going to review in total 3 different property market. In fact, actually we're reviewing 4 different property markets lah. Kita akan review KL, kita akan review Selangor, kita akan review Penang, dan kita akan review property dekat Johor juga. So tonight we only have 5 property, but all these 5 property is basically coming from 4 different states, right? So is there anyone here from Penang or not? Anyone here from Penang or not? Adir, anyone here from Penang or not? Penang fans. So I see a chat here. Penang one better. Ayo, you bias lah you. Right? So anyone here from Johor or not? Ataupun Singapore? Anyone here from Johor, Singapore? And obviously the majority will be dekat Klang Valley, right? So nak kahwin nak kahwin pi Penang dah. Okay. Cool. So, like I said, tonight will be the first time. There are two first. Number one, we review 4 different states, 4 different property market to give you guys an overview. So that's first, all right? Number one. Number two, right? Today is the first time we will deploy our 8 property filter to review properties, right? Because before this, we've always used can stay, can rent, can sell, right? Very simplistic criteria, right? Today, it's going to be the first time we deploy our 8 property filter. Then you can have a look, right? Of all the properties that we are reviewing tonight, which one is the best buy? Okay, which one is the best buy? Okay, so I think you're gonna learn plenty tonight. But unfortunately, in order for you to fully absorb what we say, here is that you first have to actually understand what is the 8 property filter terlebih dahulu. Which means kalau boleh nanti we're gonna forward you the link, right? Forward you the link. You go and have a look because I think 2 weeks ago we actually launched the 8 property filter. In that session, we actually talk about in detail about the filter. So tonight we can't do that. So tonight we review property based on the 8 filter. Okay, we're gonna give you a simplified version, right, of this tonight. Okay, guys. So that's just to give you guys some context. So first time coming here, don't worry. We're gonna give you the link. You're gonna have access. Go and watch the video. It's about 2 hours, but I think once you watch it, no one can scam you into buying a bad property. Okay, guys. So without further delay, I think we can quickly start. So I think the team, if whenever that you're ready, please beam the slides. I'll do the quick introduction. I'll introduce the 8 property filter, and after that, the research team from Far Capital will will actually begin to go and do property review. And towards the end, we're gonna invite all of the panel to give their POV and their 2 cents, right? So yeah, all you LB. So with that, I think you want to quickly share screen. LB is a host now. Okay. And guys, if you have any questions related to the session tonight, what you can do here is that please put your questions in the Q&A, right? Inshallah, I will do my best, and we will do our best to answer all questions before we end tonight. Okay. So guys, this is the reason why we do deal grill. Number one, I think there's a lot of noise out there. Developer will tell you one thing, property agent will tell you one thing, and people who don't like the property will tell you one thing. But tonight we're just gonna talk the property based on the data, based on what we know, what the data and facts, right? So if you want to have an honest review about any property, the deal or grill is where you come to get that honest review, right? Because developer and agent will sure tell you all the nice things, right? Ada kubur kat sebelah pun dia tak bagi tahu. Alright, and they will tell you rental 8-9%, wonderful, you got positive cash flow, all of that. Only for you to find out now you don't get anything close to that. So if you want to know the real truth, you want to know real data, what is the risk of buying that property, you have to watch like Deal or Grill, you have to understand it. Okay, so our goal of doing Deal or Grill is to provide an independent, different POV for people looking to buy investment or own stay property. We use data to provide the independent guide, and then we're going to call out, right, incorrect facts being used to sell this property. Like I said before, there's a bunch of people, I have a lot of people who came to us and say, hey, thank you for Deal or Grill. I didn't even know the property I want to buy is next to a graveyard. It looks very convincing. The agent did not tell them that it's a graveyard. The agent doesn't tell them it's next to industrial area. But they want to sell the property so that they can get the commission. Again, nothing wrong, right? The agent will do what they're supposed to do in order to cari makan. But like I said, it's sessions like this whereby you get the full story. Okay. Now, next slide. Okay. We've done this for quite some time already. We have done Battle Royale. Battle Royale covers the area. Deal or Grill covers hot properties. So we have basically reviewed in total 11 areas, right? Since last year. Maluri, Segambut, TRX, PJ Kelanjaya, Desa Park City, Johor Bahru, KLCC, Jalan Ampang, Jelatik, Mount Kiara, Bukit Jalil, and Cyber versus Putra. So if you are looking to buy any property in this area, please go and watch. Go and subscribe to Faizul Ridzuan YouTube channel. right? Go and watch, right? It's a bit long, but you're gonna have all the information that you need by watching that one video. Okay. Then we have also done deal or grill, which is going to be the next slide. I think we have reviewed close to about 45 properties to date. So you can see these are all the list of the properties that we have reviewed this year alone. And we give you the honest review. We basically tell you can buy or cannot buy. And I have so many people coming to us, thanking us. Hey, thank you for doing this. I'm in Singapore, I'm in UK, I'm in Japan, I'm in UAE. If not because of this, I would have bought the wrong property. Okay, so guys, if you see any of the list of the property here, go and watch our deal or grill so that again you can be a more informed buyer. Lepas ni kalau salah beli jangan salahkan agent, right? You also have to do your part, right? You cannot just simply trust the agent or the developer, right? So you have to do your part as a buyer. So our goal has always been trying to make the buyer to become smarter. Not to say none of this property is bad and none of property is great. Ada je property yang bagus, ada je property yang tak bagus. But you can buy the tak bagus property because you want to buy for old stay, you like the location, but you need to know what you are buying. Itu saja. Alright? Because some of the property kita review tak bagus, in the end buat duit juga. Right? Because of scarcity. Right? So again, we're not perfect. Our job is to give you the facts and figures, and then after that, you can make a more informed decision to buy or not to buy. Okay? That's our goal. Next. Okay. So like I said, everything is on our YouTube. So you can consume hundreds of hours of content. You will become smarter by consuming those content. I can assure you. If you are complete noob, you have no idea, and you are looking to buy a first property in the next 12 months, right? If you consume all of the deal or grill or better royal video, you'll be smarter than most agents out there, right? I can assure you. And the best part here is that no one can scam you into buying a bad property, right? So, you know, just go to our YouTube channel. Next. Right? So these are the criteria that we basically use, right? You know, you can join our free Telegram and WhatsApp channel. If you are looking, to buy property that will allow you to buy, number one, below market value. Number two, you can rent, right? With hopefully a minimum 8% ROI, right? And when you don't overpay, property also can get cash flow. You can sell, normally not so difficult, right? So if you are looking to go and do this, you know, might be worthwhile to just subscribe to our free WhatsApp ataupun Telegram chat. Next. Okay. So very quick introduction. We started a couple of years ago with 7 criteria. This year we've upgraded the 7 criteria to become 8 property filter. The 7 criteria today has become actually 31 criteria. But after we combine it, then it becomes 8 property filter. Okay. So by the way, team, there's queries here. People asking about the official WhatsApp and Telegram channel. If you can provide the link, that'd be great lah. Keith and the team. Right. So today we use 8 property filter to evaluate any property. Okay, guys. So again, next slide. Okay. And why do we use 8 property filter? When we use the 8 property filter, we find out that the properties that we buy below market value that have got a high score of capital gain and cash flow did very, 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 very well. Okay. So these are all performance of properties that we have bought here, guys, post-COVID 2021 onwards. So you can see here, right, some of the property that we buy, we are getting close to 10% rental yield. Some of them close to 11% rental yield. Okay. So there's a lot of people who are very happy to get 6%. Our minimum here is 6.2, guys. All right. Average is about 8%. So why 8 property filter? Very simple. If you want to get results like this, buy property below market, buy property that will give you cash out of 100,000. If you can see here, minimum here is about like 76,000. The highest is almost 500,000 cash out. And here's the best part. You can buy property, get cash of a few 100,000, and property is still not negative cash flow. How you identify this property? You have to understand it property filter, because if you can find property that meets most of the filter, you're gonna get something like this. Okay, that's the importance of ilmu, the importance of understanding, right? What to look for in property. Okay, so if you want to get result like this, whereby you can get even double-digit gross rental yield, you can get cash out of anything between 100 all the way to 400,000. And here's the best part: after taking 100,000 cash out, it's not negative cash flow. You must understand a property filter. Okay, itu saja. You want to buy good property, you have to understand a property filter. You don't care about buying good property, don't care. Don't need to understand, go and trust anyone. Anyone tell you good investment, you just go and buy. Right? So for us, we do this for free. You don't get paid to educate people like this. But like I said, I want to make sure that we have a healthy property market, buyer a little bit more informed, and people who have got evil intention of trying to scam people into buying the wrong property or bad property can no longer do so, because you understand a property filter. Okay, next slide, please. Right, next. Because this one is already shown, right? So this is the old filter, old criteria, which is a 7 criteria. Today has been used by 8 property filter, right? So if you go to the next slide, it becomes very, very clear what is the 8 filters are, right? First bit is basically price point, right? So we look at basically 5 things before we give a rating of price. Okay, so first thing we look at is price. Are you paying overvalued, fair market value, or undervalued? So long story short, guys, if you pay fair value, you get 3 star. If you overpaying, you get 2 star and 1 star. If you are underpaying, you get 4 star and 5 star. So far follow, guys? Right? So price is very important. So you want to buy anything, kalau boleh, guys. Long story short, 4 star and above when it comes to price. Yeah. Next. All right. Second is to look at booster, right? What is the new thing or existing thing that will come to the area that will further increase both rental and property value? So that means future story. That's what booster is, right? So the more star you have, the higher, the better the prospect of the property. Okay. So booster tells you if today your cash flow not so great, capital gain not so great, but if you have booster 5 star, that property potentially in the next 3 to 5 years can be worth a lot of money, because why? There's a lot of new story coming up to the area that will impact the value of the property. Okay. So among those things are job supply, infrastructure, commercial mall, upcoming supply limited, and then positive demographic change to the area. So these are things that when it comes to booster. Next. Right. Third is supply and demand, right? So what I want to see here is that, is the demand healthy? Is the supply healthy? The higher the star means the demand is very healthy and the supply is very limited. Okay. So you can see tonight, there's going to be property whereby demand POV, good, right? But supply-wise, it's going to be too many in the next couple of years. Okay. So guys, I already see question. Please put your question in the Q&A. Inshallah, kita akan jawab nanti. Okay. Next. So this is the third filter, which is supply and demand. Okay. Number 4 is multiple rental option. So basically, the higher the star, the more rental option you have, the more rental segmentations you have, right? And the more future rental option you have. Okay. Next, you want to have this a lot, so that, for example, if you only have one rental strategy and that rental strategy not going to happen, you're going to die, right? So you have to have multiple rental option, right? So next, right? The fifth filter, right, is cash flow. Last time we don't have this. So today we put this. So basically 4-star, 5-star means positive cash flow, 3-star you get break even, 2-star and 1-star, or 0-star means it's negative cash flow lah guys. So if you are looking for a cash flow property, you don't want to suffer every month, you have to find 4-star and above. Yeah, when it comes to the property yang kita review. Okay, next. Okay, 6 is something new that we have added, which is USP, right? USP. What is the unique selling point for that particular property that will make it stand out in the area? Does it have the best facilities? Does it have the best features? Does it have, the cheapest price point? Does it have the best layout? Right? Is it part of a township? Right? So, the more USP you have, the easier it is for you to rent out, the easier it is for you to later sell the property out. Right? Which is why USP today very important. Okay? What makes it stand out? Number 7, which is next. Okay. We have basically put in a return on capital. Okay, so there are 2 return on capital, right? Which is one is either from cash flow point of view or capital gain point of view. Guys, you have to remember, very rarely a property will give you both excellent capital gain or both excellent cash flow. Most of the time, you have to pick either cash flow or capital gain. Okay, most of the time. So we actually divided, our scoring now into what's the capital gain score, what is the cash flow score. Okay, so long story short, the greater the star, the better it is the ROC, the return on capital that we have basically put. Okay, now the last filter, okay, is gonna be the probability of you being able to go and sell or exit this property, right? So guys, long story short, the higher the star, the easier it is for you to exit. Okay, remember guys, the higher the star, the easier it is for you to go and exit. Okay, because for now, I think a lot of people are asking me, so how do we measure whether the property is easy to exit? Okay, so guys, if you are looking for capital gain, right, you are looking to sell the property in the next 3, 5 years, 7 years, okay, you must find property with high score of MEO, multiple exit option. Okay, you'll find that a lot of property that we have tonight, the MEO score is actually quite low, all 2-star and below. So means probability of exit is not going to be very, very high. Kenapa? Overpriced. Limited USP. So you think property investment easy or cash flow positive only can buy? No, guys. Think again. Okay. Don't be fooled by the salesman talk. You have to understand everything, especially if you are looking to buy for investment. Okay. Next. Now the last part, like I said, you don't understand anything. You betul-betul datang webinar, aku tak tahu pergi main game ke, tengok gambar perempuan ke, apa ke, right? You don't even give a shit. Apa pun tak faham. Okay, you tengok ini. Final rating. Okay? Betul-betul. I cannot talk lah. There's no good thing I can describe you. Right? You are that lazy, right? Just look at this. This is your cheat sheet. Okay? If you are looking to buy a property for cash flow purposes, look at the cash flow rating of this property. 4-star and above, you are going to be quite okay. Okay? If you are looking to exit the property in the next 5 to 7 years, look at the capital gain rating. 4-star and above, you are going to be quite okay. Faham ke anak-anak? Children? Understand? Right? So this is different. This is now you coming to do master's degree in real estate, right? Because our head of research ada master's degree of real estate from UM. Ni betul-betul punya. This is bukan main-main. This is not some agent talk easy to sell, easy to get cash flow. Sure can one, everything can to get you to go buy property. We tell you cannot. If your cash flow rating bawah pada 3, you're gonna be negative cash flow most likely. 95% of the time we are quite accurate. We're not 100%, but 95% of the time we are accurate. Okay. Capital gain, same thing. Okay. Now, obviously, the best of property, both scoring is 4 and 5. So that would be the best property lah, guys. Fair, right? So you lazy, tak peduli apa pun tak mau belajar, betul-betul jelaka punya orang. Okay, you just look at this. Right? I make it simple for you. I cannot make it simpler than this already. Okay, guys, I give you cheat sheet. Right? But for those people who are genuinely interested to go and learn, you're going to appreciate what we do lah. Right? From the work, from the research and all of that. Okay, guys. But for those who just want, tell me lah, I can buy, I cannot buy, bugger. Look at this one. Okay. I give option for all. Right? So kita memahami rakyat Malaysia ni. Right? Rakyat Malaysia ni dia tak boleh. Dia tak faham sangat kalau kita cerita panjang-panjang. Dia kena lukis. So, boleh beli ke tak boleh beli? Right? I remember, I buat kelas 2 hari. So this guy after two days, sleeping multiple times after lunch, come and tell me, oh, that property outside can buy or cannot buy? Itu je. Aku macam jelaka. 16 jam aku cakap kan. 16 hours I talk about property. Explain the numbers. In the end he tanya, that property can buy or cannot buy? Mantap. Right? Okay. So I've been teaching for the last 10 years. I've seen it all. So if you want to be lazy, go for this. Right? But if you pay attention, we will explain to you one by one why we give this rating. Okay, guys? For people who want to understand why, we'll tell you. For those who doesn't give a shit about the why, only want to know how can or not. Right? Also, we will give it to you lah. Okay? Susah betul menjadi pensyarah dan cikgu ni, right? So, anyway, right? So, tonight, okay, we are going to be reviewing 5 properties. Next slide, please. Which I think we're already going to be talking about the 5 property. Right? So, this is again summary, right? Again, please go and watch the full video of the full explanation of the 8 property filter if you want to fully understand. Again, guys, you go and do this, one time, is a skill you can bring anywhere, right? And I think we have audience who are coming out of Malaysia too. Guys, this 8 property filter can be used in any property market. You buy below market, that can be applied anywhere, Malaysia, Singapore, anywhere, right? You want to buy property with a lot of rental option. You want to buy property that can easily be exit. You want to buy property that will give you capital gain cash flow. These are criteria that can be used anywhere. Malaysia, Singapore, Philippines, Indonesia, same shit. Okay? So please understand it. If you like numbers, you're going to love what we do. If you don't like numbers, you like the fluff, follow me, you're going to buy Porsche later. We are not that group. Okay? Now, next. Okay? So today, guys, we've got 5 properties. Noordinz is in Penang. Kyliez is in KLCC. Asteriaz is in Kebun Teh. Genosphere, Kebun Teh is in Johor. Genosphere is also in Johor. And then we got Mori Park, which is in Shah Alam. So I got Penang, I got KLCC, I got 2 in Johor, 1 nearby RTS, right? And 1 more in Shah Alam. And again, guys, let me repeat, if you have any question related to the presentation, please ask in Q&A so that we can basically sequence up in who asks first, we can answer first, right? To be fair to you. And inshallah, as per my promise, we will answer all of the questions, right? Right? All of the questions before we end tonight. So I see comment here, very true. I have silenced a salesperson last 2 days when I asked him on all 8 points. Wonderful. I always tell people who watch our video are more intelligent than most property investors out there, especially the old school one. Okay, so with that, I will hand over the floor to my team. So who's doing the presentation? Albee, is it?
Yeah, so I'll be doing the presentation. Can you guys hear me?
Okay.
Okay.
So Albee, the floor is yours. Macam biasa, I akan mencelah sikit lah towards the end.
Okay. So yeah. So today we have this 5 property from different states. So the first one we have is Noordinz in Penang. I guess when, to be honest, I went to the sales gallery. I meet the salespersons. We went for a site visit in Penang, so to understand the market, right? So we not to say we sit at home, just to do a study from the internet, call the agent at home. No, we go for site visit. So we went to Penang and see Penang market. Of course, Penang is a bit different, as we can see from data. It's like from capital gain wise, probably this is one of the best performing states. But unfortunately, their rental wasn't will say not the best rental yield return kind of state that will give to you lah from all the state. So just wanted to understand how Penang market works and how different area in Penang looks like, because we know Penang, they have different areas, probably like Georgetown, it's more tourism, or Banyan Lepas, it's more to industrial, or like even mainlands, but to Kawan today is up for all the industrial. So in Penang, they drive different kind of demands. So just wanted to know how is it work for it, right? So the one that we bring up today is Noordinz in Penang. This I would say is considered like 90% of it is sold out lah. So it's located in Georgetown. So this is a freehold. Number of units is about 600. Layout wise, there's only two. It's either studio or dual key. So a dual key will come with a 2-bedroom of kind of studio lah. Completion is about 2027. 29 stories. This will located in Lebo Noordinz lah. This will close to the Bridge 1 in Penang. And if LRT so happen to happen in Penang, they will be connected to two walking distance, not connected, like walking distance to 2 LRT stations for this Noordinz station. So it will bring you to the other side of Penang, connected to the Banyan Lepas area. So, and also to Island. So this will, if this LRT works out lah. So for this Noordinz is on top of Georgetown area. So it's on the tourism side lah. So for this one, you can see what people what the agents are promoting is actually on the prime location, because we know Georgetown is quite popular for tourism. I mean, other than just normal people come and travel. So Penang is also quite popular for medical tourism. I wouldn't say Noordinz is located in, next to hospital, but yeah, Penang is quite popular for medical tourism. So there's some the other diamond in Penang also actually, they are hyping on this medical tourism for this Airbnb lah. But as what we have known, Penang has actually banned Airbnb for residential title. So for commercial title, it has to be agreement of 80% of the owner lah. So for this Noordinz suites, they have asked all the owner to pre-sign the agreement that you agree the particular development to be used as an Airbnb lah. So as for current stages lah. So I'm not sure will Penang's one day turn out to say strictly no Airbnb or even on commercial kind of title, just solely for those licensed hotel use, because since they have come up with strictly no, Airbnb usage for residential title. So it's a bit uncertain in Penang's. So so I would say it depends on which kind of exit strategy or rental options you are looking forward lah. So for these quite strategic locations, why I say strategic, because other than this LRTs coming up, this is just located in front of the Georgetown, or the area where they have declared as the UNESCO heritage area. So there won't be any upcoming launches in front of them that will be taller lah. So potentially you those who facing towards the sea, you have a bit of unblocked kind of view temporary lah. So other than this, this is Airbnb hotspot lah. Good rental yield as what they have been showing to me, but solely on the Airbnb, because this is going to be an Airbnb play for this Noordinz, I would say. So for this area, right, Noordinz was selling about close to 1,004 per square feet. So median of this area, I've taken in I would say the closest comparison that I can found in Penang market, because Penang has actually have different of markets. Even it can be Georgetown, it can be affordable kind of housing or low cost apartment even in Georgetown. You can see it's actually quite common because Penang have restricted kind of land. They don't have really much upcoming land to be built, right? So the one I've taken considered was Tropicana 218 Macalister. So this one, just for your context, this was actually 2 blocks of building. One block is residential, the other blocks was courtyard. Okay, so this was translated close to I would say 1,179 per square feet. All in this Georgetown area was close to 812 per square feet. So if you solely talk about if let's say today Airbnb was Airbnb is really being banned, like totally no in Penang. So if let's say this is going to be only you can rent it as a studio, okay, dual key kind of studio. So Penang for this Tropicana studio was about 2000 to 2002 lah. So talking about mortgage for this specifically this studio unit is about close to 2004 to 2005. The dual key was close to 4,000 lah. So regardless of any, the studio seems if let's say the Airbnb was spent, it seems that the studio is unable to cover the mortgage of the particular property, I would say. So hence, this is why it justifies our 8 property filter. So you can see the price why is 0.6 because you can see it's actually much above the current median of this Georgetown specifically. So I know Penang people would justify, hey, Penang, you know, there's so much of area in Penang. Gurney was selling 2,000. As Tanjung Bunga, Tanjung Tokong, even Batu Ferringhi, you know, the prices is so much different. Of course, I can't compare this with like other area of Penang, for example, even in Island, there's Bayan Lepas, right? So we are specifically just talking about Georgetown context within the, I would say, the comparable area that we are looking forward. So just Georgetown, okay, hence this is why the prices was a bit low because the net price was about 1,004 and the current, I would say the nearest comparison the Tropicana was about close to 1,002 per square feet only. So hence, in terms of new launches, there's actually not much of new supply of launches as in comparable as in going to do Airbnb, the specs wise, the prices wise. Hence, the prices is not really able to compare. Why is it was selling the 1,004? Because of the hyping on the, I would say the LRT lah, and also Exim kind of product. So this is their prices. So in terms of booster, I give it 5 star because it fixed up to kind of, I would say, limited supply in Penang. So demographic changes might happen as well because in Penang currently, as what we have observed, there's more and more I would say foreigners who come in, especially like Hong Kong people or even China people who come over here because of educationals, and some was a bit for holiday homes. Holiday home is very popular in terms of for Hong Kong people to come over to Penang. So supply and demands is about 3.3. There's not really much upcoming supply in the area for those comparable product. MRO was 1 star. I want to justify it. It was because when I went for pitching for this product, it was solely selling me for the I would say tourism. Even though they are selling for LRT station, so they also talk about LRT for tourism and medical tourism. So you only probably have one option, which is going to make a better kind of money is this Airbnb game lah. So and also the limited target segmentations for this group was just tourism. You can't really target like local or even family because of the sizes. Hence, it's a bit limited. So cash flow wise, to be fair, so all the property that we've discussed across all the deal or group sessions, we only consider the whole unit rental because, of course, when you do Airbnb, there's much more potential. Your cash flow can be positive, but it is uncertain. So it depends on the peak of certain month. It can be a very good occupancy, so you have much more cash flow. Some month you have a very low occupancy, so it's uncertain. So to be fair, we actually consider all property in terms of their cash flow for whole unit rental. So for whole unit, as per you guys can see, it was unable to be covered for your mortgage. So it was just 2 star. The unique selling points was 2 star because of the prices. And also, I would say the facilities location probably is what we have to consider also for this unique selling point when we wanted to exist as well. So rental of cash flow for capital gain was 3 star because of prices. Let's say if RT so happen up and also there's no ban for it, so I would believe these prices would seem to be quite all right. I wouldn't say it's below median market because as for now, Tropicana was just close to 1,001 per square feet only. So cash flow is about 3. Considering the current, because for this one, right, it's going to be a fully furnished kind of spec lah. So you can hop on to their packages. Hence, this is return on capital, right? So it's considering all the capital you have to fork up when you own this property. So when owning a property, we're considering of all the upcoming fees, for example, MOT, renovation cost, deposit for your TNB, some of the legal fees. So hence this is all the calculation that make on top of the return of capital, calculating based on the cash flow they can generate per month. Hence, this is something that you guys have to take note. Why is it A? Some cash flow can be 2, why the return of capital is 3 star, because this is actually calculated based on a fully finished being offered in market together with the price point. Okay, hence for the multiple exit options is 2 star, because it's a bit limited. For personally, it's a bit limited because the MRO was just 1 star, the prices was a bit high. Even though in Penang there's limited markets in this, but I wouldn't believe those local will prefer to buy such a small unit for staying lah. Hence, local sanitation is a bit limited in our point of view. So for capital gain rating is 2.6, cash flow ratings is 2.7. So that's for Noordinz lah. Moving forward, we'll just do a bit short briefing. So only for the first slide, we will do a bit detailed kind of briefing in justify why we give such a rating, why is it 1, why is it 2, kind of rating. So for the next one, we have
I think we can bring all the panelists to just talk a little bit about what's their view on Noordinz, whether they agree or assessment. I think let's just quickly introduce our panelists. We got Sean, the one and only Sean Iherng. So we've got I think we've got William, but I don't think Zakri tonight, right? So Zakri is on the flight back. Betul lah.
Zakri reached, but just landed lah. So he will join shortly when he come out from the customer immigration. Yeah.
So Sean, William, what's your take on Noordinz dekat Jalan Noordinz dekat Penang? Are we too harsh to give them price point just 1 star, multiple rental option? Unfortunately, only one star means only one rental strategy can break even, which is Airbnb, right? This is a service residence, right? Title, commercial title, which as of today, from a Penang point of view, is not illegal to go do Airbnb lah. For now lah, for now. What do you guys think?
I think I start first lah, before Sean share his more expert point of view. So I went with Albee and the team during the site visit. Basically, exactly what Albee said, it's a Airbnb focused unit, right? And in fact, you look at the layout, it's designed for that lah, right? And the proximity itself, it's memang meant for that as well, because sites are small, and from what I got from the insights from the local people there, including agents, developers, they all say the same thing, that Penang people, right, prefers larger unit if they want to stay lah, right? So obviously this size, which is why there's only one MRO lah, right? Memang for short term. But again, the product actually I quite like it. If I want to buy a unit, to rent out, and when I come to Penang, I have a place to stay. So if I come with that mindset, I think it's a very, very good product. The proximity itself to LRT, right, to Komta, and all the jetty lah. So for me, in that sense, it's pretty good. But the price point actually, the price point of view, I think it's a bit different for Penang compared to Klang Valley and J. Because how Penang people look at price is kind of different compared to other area lah. So I think pretty much a good product if you want to get some for short-term stay. But other than that, yeah, there's better option. How about you, Sean?
Not gonna buy. You say you glazed it lah. I know you're trying to glaze it lah, but to me I think for locals also they won't buy. I don't think locals are buying. Only if second gen, like parents sort out their properties already, Then I got extra money. So there's two very fascinating things. Number one, Penang is selling at 1,600. Mont Kiara we sell 1,000. People make noise, it's expensive. That's crazy, I also just came back from JB. That's why I came back. I straight away I got tada suara for 3 days. Today I just got back my voice. Then the second fascinating thing is a lot of people think property investment is only Airbnb, like hotel-like. So there's also a Ponzi related scheme that all Penang people love one. They all want to be the first in the market, and they know it's not going to be sustainable, but as long as they are the first few, it's fine. Okay, so guess what's going to work, right? I estimate this is going to sell out soon. 4 more developers is going to follow the same. Then the market bursts. It's always like that. Then the government will step in. Okay, you know what? All hotels are losing business. We ban all Airbnb.
Even for service residents and commercial title property.
Will they do it? It needs to be very severe, I think, where everybody complain that they lose money and things like that. Well, that's the worst case scenario. But to me, why, like when you say you buy one, right? Just like I disagree with you, William, where if I just normally went out, then I come back home, occasionally in Penang, I got a place to stay. That place is called a hotel. Why you want to prepare a place occasionally for me to stay? Why? Right? Rental in Penang is dirt cheap compared to the selling price. Why would you want to have the holiday home concept? Unless you're super rich again. But if you're super rich, may I suggest Batu Fringhi instead?
I also can say those rich people, they will stay Batu Fringhi, Tanjung Bunga, Tanjung Tokong, Gurni, because they have the best sea view, much more privacy, premium kind of address. Yeah.
Like locals are staying away from Georgetown. It's the third worst area for traffic after revision of one way. And everybody is cursing away because of the UNESCO classification. It's so difficult. Like they used to be very happy that they are a shop owner last time. But now because you're a shop owner, you must refurbish to UNESCO level. If not, you cannot do. Wow. Then I need to be rich just to be owner. Wow, cannot. So to me, it's fun if it's your 4th, 5th that we spoke before. You get in fast. When it's hot, you sell, you can make some. But the tough part is when you are going to make like 8,000, 10,000 per month kind of returns, like JB. When I ask them to let go now, they don't want. But that's the only time when your property is valuable. Imagine when Airbnb couldn't even make it anymore. Who else is going to buy this property? The only buyer is an investor.
So Sean, I think people are gonna struggle, and I think I suspect
I thought your side a bit soft.
Yeah. Well, I can't really hear you.
Yeah, I thought William was screaming.
Test. Test. Can you hear better or not?
Yes.
Okay. So I think people are gonna be a little bit confused, and I suspect the agent will do it Sean don't know what he's talking about because we are fully sold, almost fully sold. Right? So how do you, we come to the conclusion that this property, in a way, from a price point of view, is high, is above market average, is definitely high, because even average in tier 1 in Penang, I think we are looking at about 800 ringgit per square foot. This is 1,004 LB, which is why at almost double the premium, right? So that's why we can only give it 1 star when it comes to price. It's confirmed overpriced, right? So the only booster which is given 5 stars is booster because of the LRT proximity. And again, there's a big caveat. If the LRT were to happen, because the LRT discussion for Penang, it has been a discussion since early 2010s, right? So this LRT discussion, if it were to happen, okay. And of course, the agent today is basically milking it right? So then the question, where is the demand coming from? Because what we say here, it doesn't translate to sales, right? And there are going to be some properties whereby, you know, we think it makes sense, but sales wise not so great, right? So why do you think there's an anomaly? I've got my theory, but I want to hear your POV, right? So my hunch tells me that the buyers of this property are not your local Penang guys. Right? It's the same guys who again buy the dual key units in KLCC, maybe sharing by a few people. Right? It's the same bunch of youngsters, right? Who are trying to get into the property investment game and looking to buy this because, well, you like Penang mah. So the tip here is probably, rather than you pay for hotel every time you come to Penang, now you own a property make money for you, at the same time you get to stay for free lah. I mean, if I were the agent and I want to do something, you know, I want to market this, right? So this is basically going to be my sales pitch lah. Because, you know, like me and you, and knowing how, you know, Penang buyers behave, who will pay 1,000 for? It doesn't make sense lah. Who will pay for this size? Doesn't make sense. What do you think?
I think a lot of people say they follow numbers, but they only follow the numbers that they want. They follow the Airbnb numbers return. Then it's very easy one. Hey bro, you just go into Airbnb, one night 400. 20 days outside, right? Enough really. Don't need to work really. Work so hard for what? Settle. Hotels all fully booked. Yeah, good enough. So for a lot of Penang, I think you're right. It's not your locals. Like they are struggling to have affordable homes in Penang. So it's not your locals. Definitely. It's the business people. Maybe just buy for as a toy. Just to put around, because ultimate price is not that expensive, like 400 over square feet. It's like 600,000 only ma. Right? 600,000, it's almost the same price as their affordable. So wow, then you get like a atas thing. Hey, you own a piece of Georgetown, eh? Yeah, so there's only one Georgetown, I can continue selling you some more. Yeah, so like tourism numbers, I put it in Penang. Wow, you think about Malaysia, you think about Penang, man. Yeah, so with all that, right? Yes, it will work. And kudos to the developer, I think, for being the first. I think it's a damn smart move. Like once they realize this model work, they conquer Malaysia. Ipoh lah, KK lah, Penang lah, everywhere. And it works because for a person who have been, for example, Moa, no hate to Moa, I'm just saying only. Rental can never happen, right? And there's never installment higher than rental one. Where rental higher than installment, where got such thing one, right? I buy property 10 years, I barely double. Suddenly you tell me I can make money from property via Airbnb. Show me the numbers. Numbers all got. But they haven't seen the downfall of it. But will it happen? It needs to have an amount of numbers. For example, 8 blocks. In KLCC, will it happen? I think so. In JB, I think so. But then they got Singapore lah, but in Penang got what? Mainland. So yeah, so that's my take on it. Everybody thinks that the rental game that we are playing here, it's super boring. That is the problem. Everybody buy property today, tomorrow, I nak kaya dah.
I think last point here is that for the benefit of the public member watching this rating is only true provided no ban on short stays by the government coming in the next 20 years lah. So if they suddenly change story again, and they have done this before, right? And they banned Airbnb for high-rise service apartments or commercial title property. Now only hotel can do it. Your booster, your return on investment, capital gain, cash flow, exit, your rating all goes down by you buang lah minimum 1 star lah, guys. Right? So I don't think the agent can also give you that guarantee. But if anyone looking to buy a Airbnb play in Penang or any markets for that matter, this is the risk that you have to undergo and understand. Okay? So I don't want to be the party pooper here, but you know, you understand what you are getting yourself into. That's it. Okay. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, William. Yeah, for your input on Penang. Very quickly, like I said, this is the star rating that we give. We are also buying something in Penang, right? As of today, just to give you some sense, right? How do we rate certain things, right? So, for example, like our other purchase in Penang, while this one is available at 1,004, we are buying something in Penang Island for 450 ringgit per square foot. All right. It also has a booster. It has got no upcoming supply. This one rental option from a long-term option can still get break even, right? And this is a proper capital gain play because everything in tier 1 in Penang average today is 800 ringgit per square foot, and today we are buying this at 450 per square foot. And from an exit POV, we think this is a much safer thing. So when we give something 1 star, 2 star, right? We have a property again that we are buying and we can compare side by side. So it might not be in the same area, but like I said, 1,400 ringgit per square foot in Penang Island, Georgetown, versus this one nearby the sea at 450 per square foot, right? You know, long-term rental can break even, no need Airbnb, no need hotel story, right, to justify. It will tell you that we are just buying something much safer. So if you think that you just have to buy small units above 1,000 ringgit per square foot in Penang because there's no other option, look harder. Right? Don't be lazy. Okay, guys? Right? So again, such property exists. We are buying it as of today, as we speak. You just have to look harder to go and buy something similar. Okay? Next, Albee.
Okay, the next one we have Kyliez in KLCC. So pass the floor to Azrin for the Kyliez. Azrin, I think you are muted. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Hi, can you hear me? Okay. Kyliez suit KLCC. For your information, this property is considered 99% sold out already. Okay. And this will be our second property that will be reviewed. The location is just located beside the Avenue K. So I can say that it's really, really close to the Avenue K shopping mall and also just around 200 meters away from the Petronas Twin Tower and Suria KLCC lah. The location quite okay because the LRT KLCC also near this project, whereby less than 100-meter walking distance lah. Okay, guys, and this property only 1 tower, 37 stories with a total of 356 units. With the estimations of completion is around Q4 2027 lah. It's a freehold with the unit size starting from 323 square feet for studio up to 657 square feet for 2-room dual key. So the layout we can say compact and practical for me lah, especially. And especially for those who want something easy to maintain and accessible to everywhere lah. So the main facilities are in the level 35 and level 36. There's a sky gyms, sky pool, and yeah, basically the KLCC spec facilities lah. Okay, next. Okay, this is the agile marketing POVs. This is a low density project, like I said before, with 356 units only. But if we compare with the RM1 Holston, the Dawn KLCC and the Skyline Embassy, which is have over 1,000 units, this one is the low dense one lah. Okay, and well, because this property, like I said, near to the few landmarks like Petronas Twin Towers, Saloma Bridge, and Surya KLCC Mall, I believe that's the USP that the agent used to promote this project, especially with this project is a freehold and with a low entry price starting from, I'm not mistaken, is starting from 3K plus per month. Okay, next. All right. The price for this property is starting from 2,100 PSF. And if we compare to the KLCC areas median lah, which is what about 1,007 and the Four Seasons around 2.6K, this price considered in the middle, not that low and not that high lah. But guys, but if we compare with the other KLCC new launches property like Dawn starting from 1,007 PSF or Skyline Embassy starting from 1.2K, this property considered a bit high. Okay, in terms of the rental perspective, this Kyliez, I can say that I believe the rental can cover the mortgage. Why? Because even the studio or the one bedder projection rental, if you can see in the Tropicana, the residence lah, yang that located 700 meter from the Kyliez can project up to 6K per month for one bedder. The Escort and the Scarlets also can project up to roughly around 4K to 4.5K for this layout, studio or one bedder projection. The same also goes to two bedder rental projection, whereby the rental projection can go up to 8.5K for two bedder and 5.5K in Escort Star Resident. So basically, this number roughly gave us the vision lah that the rental demand for this KLCC area is higher than any other area in KL. So maybe because of the potential demographic changes or because of the supply in this area. And yeah, the mortgage for this Kyliez can be covered by the rental lah. Especially this Kyliez is mainly for Airbnb investment and the short-term rentals. But on stay also can. Okay, next. Okay, before we go through the star rating, the 8 property filter, disclaimer, this star rating is based on the studio unit, okay, and not for 2-bedder and 3-bedder, okay? So later on, don't like macam, oh why, why, because this is based on the studio unit, the most popular layout lah. So based on this 8 property filter, the price for Kyliez is 1 star, whereby after considered the median for a whole area and the price PSF for Kyliez itself, that's starting from 2001 PSF, and then we compare to the latest translated price for the same layout, this is the result of the calculations. The price 1 star, 1.9 to be exact. Okay, booster 5 star because of the potential demographic change. There's also the future commercial like mall and hotels in the area together with a job supply, and that make it 5 star. And for the supply versus demand, after considered the demand in that area, is this Kyliez near to LRT or MRT, or is there any school and hospital there together with the supply? The supply demand, we came out with 3 star, the MRO 3 star, and in this Kyliez, because the rental can cover the installment, so the cash flow POV is 3 star also. Okay, clear guys? The USP only 2 star based on our star rating in the property filter lah, whereby we took the consideration of the fact, the facilities and the sizes. Okay, and this project starting price is from 750K, and this project need to pay almost 15% down payment, but there's a rebate of 7% that make almost 80K lah. Capital need to pay after add on the MLT, the renovation cost, and a few costs lah. And I think you can do the maths. Hence, the ROC capital gain for Kyliez are 4 stars, whereby the capital gains is minimum 60% in 5 years, while the ROC cash flow is 1 star, whereby the capital is below below 5% ROC, it can only cover 70% of rental. So for the MEO, the multiple exit options, is only 2 stars, whereby we consider that this property is slightly above landed medium. That's why it becomes a 2 stars. So guys, overall ranking for capital gain and cash flow above 2 stars after go through our 8 property filter. All right. Okay. Next,
Hang on ah. Let's bring apa tu?
our
Our
panel.
panelists. So this is another example, right? That just because we rate something low doesn't mean it doesn't sell. Right? I think patah balik kot tadi. The other sides. Right? So I think from a price point of view, it's very clear. The median price for small units dekat KLCC is about 1,006. This is going for about 2,001. Right? So itu nombor satu. And here's the thing, right? And I think there's a couple of comments here, right? What happens when you want to exit when the majority of the units are doing Airbnb, right? And so far lah, I've not seen a happy ending lah, guys. Long story short lah, right? If you look at multiple properties, right, within the so-called Z series, right? I forgot the one with the Titi Wangsa view apa. Also has got a very... Huh?
X-Prize on. Is it?
No. Is it the one nearby Titi Wangsa?
Datuk Keramat.
Not Datuk Keramat. It's the one right next to right behind Bernama there. I forgot the name.
Expressions.
Expressions.
Bryson.
So I think that one is largely Airbnb play, and I think today price point point of view until today has not really gone up, right? I don't know what's your take, lah, Sean, William, Albee on this.
My take, Expression was a great case study. I think that was the time when the developer was finding its footing. So I don't think that the project was meant to be for Airbnb focus. That's why you can see the facilities, right? They cover half, don't cover half. Some must have access, only can use. Some must have access, cannot use. So like when I was there, it felt like a hotel lobby lah. Luggage bag everywhere, which is amazing if you're an investor. But as a resident who spend your money thinking that, oh, in front of you got a park, you will have the KLCC view, doomsday lah. So I think after that learning, then after salons, they just took a right turn and turned everything into Airbnb for city ones. I think that's the junction for this particular developer. So for residential type, like Bukit Jalil type, then you can see that one is the normal type lah, the Millers, Oakland Road one. For anything smaller than 400, right? They are all going this direction. Since people are buying, let's build. And yeah, but I think the audience needs to understand, like in KL, right, versus in Penang. Here, the rental can still cover. Penang can never cover one. So, but when you talk about exit strategy,
You're talking about long-term rental, right?
yeah.
So we're not talking
Airbnb
Airbnb, guys. So anything that we speak about is not Airbnb rental, because anything if you do cash, daily rental, per hour rental, Airbnb rental, sure can cover lah.
Yeah, I think mansions also can cover.
Yeah.
Bungalow mansions. I think that is one category that I'm very interested lately. Anyway, my take on it, I think we spoke about this very, very long already. I think again, they are the early movers in every locations. So you are not going to be the worst lah. You will make money for the first 3 years. Then when everything else built, like we estimated before, Albee gave the number about 12,000 units, right? 10 to 12,000 units.
Yeah, there's upcoming supply in KLCC.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With that, right, just imagine. So, okay, not only Airbnb people cannot make money, hotel cannot make money. Imagine when hotels cannot make money, right? Wow. What is the government going to do to that? Suddenly, okay, so I think there's two ways to go about it. That's not when I think about it, right? Doomsday, everybody die, no lah. But I think the industry will turn professional. So what they did here is developer got a hotelier license, which is awesome again, right? Then legally, are they able to do so? Yes. Then the second thing is when you want to run your own Airbnb, you need to have a certain license or a certain amount or a Sendirian Berhad with cash flow before you can operate. Then only the big boys can make the money. You got 1 unit, 1, 2 unit, 1, then gone case lah. I think when the whole industry turn professional, which I think it should, I think that will be the best outcome of this phenomenon.
William, what's your thought? Exit for KLCC property Airbnb play.
I mean, it's the one that we shared for so long lah. You know, if you are buying above median, right, it's very unlikely you can sell easily lah, or even sell at all. You know, there's already tons of properties, right? Cheaper than you for the same address, right? So some are even newer, you know, or even closer to KLCC, all that stuff, right? So yeah, if you buy, especially in residential properties, right? If you buy above median, it's very, very unlikely you can, you know, easily sell, which is, you know what the audience said, right? Thinking about the exit strategy and, you know, that what makes him, you know, thought again on his decision, rethink on his decision, right? So again, KLCC, I think SM is very, very smart, like what Sean said, first mover. In fact, I think they recently launched I think we want to launch the one in Kelantan, right? Yeah, Kelantan site. So pretty much they covered almost all the states already. And to be honest, like from a developer's point of view, right, I think they are very, very smart, especially in terms of sales package. You know, how they design the package, how they design the commission for agents. I mean, I got agent background, and also how, you know, the design package, for example, the LTV 71, right, they can basically tap out the down payment into installment to the developer at 0 interest. Obviously, they mark up the price first, right, to make it, yeah, very, very convenient for buyers to just purchase. But from buyer's point of view, I think, again, you want to think about exit plan as well, right? It's really important, as in any other investment asset. Well, you want to sell off your stocks, your ASP, your crypto, or you think about exit plan as well. So I think the same should go for property as well, right? Rather than asking about cash flow, you want to ask about exit plan as well. Very, very important key.
I've got something to share. The thing about short stay here is really depends on the competition. You know, there's too many people doing it. It becomes a complete bloodbath, like guys. I own a property called Regalia those days, right? And Regalia was the first one with rooftop pool, unblocked KLCC skyline. When we were first doing Airbnb, my studio unit, I can get 6,000 per month. Rental average about 150 to 180. The word got out that return on investment is actually quite good. So a lot of people begin to go to Airbnb. What happened subsequently? Rental rate dropped to about 30 ringgit per night. Okay. 30
That's cheaper than
ringgit.
that's cheaper than a V60.
Yeah. 30 ringgit per night. Right? Because there are too many competition. Now, that development was not being sold as an Airbnb play from day one, you know. So I would say with almost certainty that any development that was being sold as an Airbnb play as of today will most likely have a very unhappy ending, right? So you might argue that, okay lah, Regalia old building and whatnot. Guys, I'm far cap lah. We bought 60 property portfolio. We have a portfolio in Bukit Bintang as of today. Brand newly VP property, right? Actually did quite okay. Even that as of today, walkable to Pavilion, walkable to TRX. And I'm talking about property which is less than 2 years old, already seeing similar signs. Studio unit went from 200 ringgit per night to today 80 ringgit per night. William will know lah, right? William will know this property. He's very familiar with this property, right? So the reality here is that when you have more than 100 operator, this is bound to happen. And last but not least, I was speaking to an operator who is currently, there's Airbnb in more than 25 buildings all over Malaysia. Very old-timer, seasoned player. Okay? Now, he's coming to me, not because he's nice. He's coming to me today to gang up, simply because he sees a bloodbath in KLCC. We bought a property portfolio in KLCC, cheaper than this. Just a few meters away walk, by the way, to this. Obviously, we didn't buy at 2,000 lah. We buy at 1,005, newly completed. He's now bringing a 4-star hotel operator because he foresees something similar. The KLCC area will be a bloodbath. And the only property that can sustain a 200 ringgit, 300 ringgit, 400 ringgit per night are branded residences. Your Escort lah, right? So a couple, at least branded name lah, not your local brand. Right? So no, it's all, the thing about Far Capital is that everything that we do is all evidence-based lah. Yeah, guys, everything has to be evidence-based lah. So as of today, the evidence as of today 100% points out that any property with Airbnb, very little capital gain, cash flow goes down over time. Might be good for a while, but it goes down over time. And so far, the evidence is 100% correct on that. Okay. So again, 99% sales status, great. No, great for the developer, great for the agents. They're gonna go to Hokkaido, eat snow crab, and all of that, right? Not gonna be so good for the buyers.
I want to add some point.
Sure.
For this, probably people talk about Airbnb market in KL or even some other areas. So why actually some Airbnb or even new upcoming launches, they wanted to have this branded residence or branded hotel to come in. Actually, there's a different market between these branded resident or branded hotel operators is their connections, I would say. For example, in JBCC, we have the operators. What they have is the connections. So they have their business corporate partner. They will bring up the people who are able to spend up for this amount of money. So for example, some other product, they are local, so they can be like 80 to 100 operators competing in the same markets. So the differences is the connections. They can only depending on the normal travel workers or normal kind of Airbnb platform to advertise their units. Hence, the competition is very, very tough in the market, I would say. The difference for all these branded residents is their connection. They can work with tourism agencies to sign up packages. That's actually make it very different in this. And also, of course, those who come from all the way from other country to travel through agency, they of course they wanted something much more premium, safer for staying, right? So they don't mind paying a little bit much more premium, probably about 50 to 80 to up to 100 ringgit kind of differences lah. So if they got like 150, they will see is this a location accessible, walking distance? Actually, what being offered lah? Is it provide shuttle pass to KLCC or some other areas? This is all the services being offered differently from different kind of operators. So it will actually eventually make the market a bit different for all these Airbnb. So to make it sustainable, because in KLCC, everyone would say, okay, I'm close to KLCC, I have link bridge, I have the best view, but eventually you'll see upcoming, they'll say, oh, I have the similar things in the markets, but what actually make them to be differences is all the connections the strategy that they're able to offer in the market lah. Of course, prices is also very important. For example, Kyliez, okay, before all this Armani, Halston was up, right? Okay, 2000s is like crazy in the markets, but probably if compared to all these new launches, it seems to be a bit all right at similar par, but today markets in KLCC was close to 1,007 or 1,008 per square feet only. That's the transacted prices. Even branded Four Seasons was close to 2,007 per square feet only. So hence when we wanted to exit the market with limited kind of MRO exit strategy, because KLCC, it can be different sizes. For example, just now we talk about this particular property development, they developed Expression. Why is it may have a turn today? Because you can say Expression, I mean the layout sizes, they are bigger in sizes, cloud up to 900 square feet to be able. So, but in the new one, they have actually turned today to Airbnb, is all smaller in layout, 300 square feet dual key, because they want to maximize the profits. They are not able to cater a bigger group for a different kind of exit strategy, I would say. So in the market, it's a bit different. Hence, for me, probably it's a bit limited for Kyliez lah, because you can see others who launches in the KLCC, they might have a different layout as well, or bigger in sizes, because they are not solely depending on this Airbnb markets. That's my pick lah for this Kyliez. So hence probably it will justify why the rating is a bit low on this property for this particular game. That's our take actually. It can be seen lower entry price because 300 square feet or 400 square feet, small sizes ma. So it seems lower entry price, but in terms of mortgage, you divide by per square foot, it's actually a different animal, I would say lah. It's not something you can get 1,000 per square feet. No, it's actually a double per square feet in this area for the size. Yeah.
I would argue this, guys. I'll give you a simple rule. If you're going to pay anything above 2,000 per square foot in either TRX, KLCC, or Bukit Bintang, make sure it's a branded residence. That's it. That's the only time you can justify. Right? Because otherwise, it's the same operator. Right? It's the same players behind. You're just cannibalizing each other. Right? So if you're going to pay anything above 2,000 per square foot, make sure it's branded residence. Proper branded residence. Either international or local ones like Pavilion. That would be the only time I think it's worthwhile paying 30-40% premium versus the same median. Now for us at FarCap, I think we're actually quite happy. Well, we are happy that people want to pay, non-branded residence at 2,001 per square foot, because we bought non-branded at 1,005, and our non-branded at 1,005 today will have a brand. So there's gonna be a 4-star property management operator, international property management operator coming in to operate, right? So personally, for example, they are not talking even about, how you check in, the process of checking quite fun, right? For hotel, right? This one you check in straight away to your room, like a VIP. You know how people go to buffet? This one, food is served in your room, right? So I'm not even lobbying for the operator invest in a Rolls Royce so that they can bring tenants to come and stay in KLCC for them to, KLCC is very nearby bring them via Rolls Royce. It doesn't cost much, right? So these are differentiating factor. And again, we are not entering this at 2,000 per square foot. We are buying this at about 1,005 per square foot, right, in KLCC area. So again, I think from a first mover point of view, I think this is going to be very, very important. So we see people launching at 2006, 2007, okay, quite happy. Some more non-branded, right? And we get branded about 1,005 now. So non-branded by, by plan was non-branded, but today we got branded. So because again, we work as a group, we try to bring in all of this additional value. So I think, like I said, if you're going to pay above 2,000 per square foot, please make sure it's branded, right? Either in TRX, either in KLCC, either Bukit Bintang. Please make sure it's branded. So at least when you want to sell out the property later, today, the only property with above 2,000 ringgit per square foot transacted in the whole of KL are branded residents. Okay guys, cannot warn you enough. Tak mau dengar juga, nak dengar cakap agent juga, okay lah, suka hati kau lah, duit kau. There's nothing much we can do here, lah. Right? So again, to compare, if you move to the next slide, this is gonna be our next property purchase, right? Code name is basically Riri. Again, this is a non-branded, and this is gonna be about 1,400 ringgit per square foot. Layout wise is very comparable, if not better. Also got rooftop facility. This is gonna be a 5 minutes distance to Petronas Twin Towers. So, you know, people pay 2001, great. We're gonna pay 1,004, right? We're gonna pay 1,004 and we're gonna be 5 minutes away from Petronas Twin Towers, right? So again, when we say that they are better properties and you don't have to buy 1-star, 2-star property, that there will be better property, but you just have to, in a way, work a little bit harder, you know, to go and find better deals, right? So this is gonna be our next launch in KLCC, right? So quite excited lah. Somehow we got unblocked KLCC view. So yeah, rooftop pool, unblocked KLCC view, very exciting. 1,004 per square foot only, right? For freehold. Okay, next. Oh, by the way, this is the property that we have bought because we are talking about city center property. This is the property that we have bought. This property, you know, if you look at the score, it's very clear, 4.3 capital gain, 4.2 cash flow. Today, this property, positive cash flow is 4-figure on net price. Capital gain today is above 200,000, again on net price. So less than 2 years we bought, we're already looking at these numbers. This is in Bukit Bintang, walkable to TRX. Okay. Next. I think in the interest of time, so I think we're just going to skim through the next 3 developments with research, and then after that we do a summary lah, guys, so that we can look at ending this presentation before 12 o'clock tonight, because it's already 11:30. Right, let's go.
Okay, all right. Okay, next one. The Asteriaz Kebunte JB. Okay, this is the first vaccine project that located in Kebunte, Johor Bahru, which is a quite strategic spot, I can say, in close proximity to the CIQ and JB city center, around 5 kilometers. Oh, and also near to the Bukit Chaga RTS terminal, around 4 km. This is a leasehold project, but still under HDA, so you will get the usual buyer protection lah, even though it's on a commercial land. Okay, guys? Okay, so the building going to be a 42-story with a total of 848 units. There are 2 sizes to choose from, either from 560 square feet or a more spacious 915 square feet if you need the extra room lah. And the estimation completion year will be the 2029, a few years from now. The facilities-wise, the facilities podium will be in the level 10 and 11, and the rooftop facilities is in level 42. And this project can be accessed through the Jalan Kebunte. There's a few landmarks here like the KSL Mall, Century Garden, Sentosa Plaza, and many more lah. Okay, don't forget to screenshot, guys. Next. Okay, next is the agent marketing POV. Location-wise, I believe the proximity to the CIQ and the upcoming Bukit Chaga RTS terminal will offer a convenience to the locals and Singaporean commuters lah. This location is kind of attractive for those locals who is working in Singapore, and I believe this factor make it has an attractive rental property. Facility spec also good, and the developer also provided the the shuttle bus to CIQ. Okay, next. Okay, screenshot first. This project starting price is from 720 PSF. With the new median is around 761 RTS, and the old one is roughly around 526 non-RTS. For the rental, we compare this project with comparable within the 3 km radius from the property. In this case, we compare with the veranda residence, whereby the rental for one bedder starting from 2002 and can go up to 2000, can go up to 2000, wait, I cannot see the screen, 2003. Okay, and for two bedder 2003 to 2006, and three bedder within the same area can go up to 2008. So based on this, the rental can cover the installment lah, whereby you can see for the Asteriaz Kebun-Teh, for the 650 square feet 1+1 bedder is starting from 1,815, and the three bedder 915 square feet starting from the 2,000, roughly around 2,600 lah, 25. Okay, next. All right, this is the star rating by our ad property filter. 2 star for the price, specific 2.3 star, whereby we compare with the latest transaction price for the area. The starting price for this project is from around 700K, and we can say that the price POV is quite good, considered the location is near to CIQ, because while there are a few property with the same price but quite far from the CIQ and the city center lah. Okay, for the booster 4 star because of the RTS link and the limited supply in the area. Supply demand 3 star, the MRO 2 star, because this project can do a whole unit rental and the room rental, and consider also the rental segmentations also. And the cash flow is 4 star, whereby the rental can cover the installment for this project and also can get a positive cash flow. Okay, and as for USP, 3 stars because of the facilities, the price and the layout also attractive. And for this project, guys, we need to pay 1% down payment with 9% rebate as for today package lah. And to get this one, we need to do a bid calculation lah. So hence for this project, it's a 3 star after considered the cost that need to be paid for the ROC capital gain. And as for the ROC cash flow, it's a 5 star, whereby still can get around 500 and above positive cash flow even with the capital. That's why we put 5 star here. And at last, the overall rating for capital gain as cash flow are both 3 star. Okay. All right. Next. So this is our JB product that we have in our inventory.
I think I can share a little bit if you can go back to the slide just now, Azri.
Okay.
So this property, the reason why we give it a higher rating is simply because, again, from a price point of view, it's not severely overpriced. Booster wise, you got RTS. There's got to be a lot of supply coming nearby RTS, but this one, like I said, around Kebun-Teh is quite limited. At least from a multiple rental option point of view, the long-term rental will make sense, because even long-term rental can give you positive cash flow, which is why this property, from a cash flow point of view, the rating is actually quite high. All right. So a big bonus, because they will provide a free shuttle bus to CIQ. We believe that the developer reputation will mean they will honor the idea of giving a shuttle bus. And on top of that, from a facility point of view, it's also not too bad, right? So if you are thinking that we don't like Exim as a developer, no, it's not true, right? I believe that, we might be a little bit harsh in a way, but again, we justify kenapa kan, guys. I mean, if you are overpriced, we tell you you are overpriced lah. If we think it makes sense, we tell you it makes sense lah. Even here for now, even long-term rental tanpa perlu buat Airbnb, this property can be a positive cash flow, right? We give a pretty high cash flow rating at 3.6, which is actually not something we do very often. Kita very kedekut, guys, with our star. Kita kedekut. Kita punya kedekut tu kalah orang Penang punya kedekut. Nak bayar sewa mahal. Right? So yeah. Positive cash flow, I think, is something that you can obtain by doing co-living and even long-term rental. Yeah, because of the limited supply lah. Right? So exit-wise, we also think, for example, this deserves a much better exit, because even the people who work in Singapore Malaysia working in Singapore will find this to be quite appealing to go and buy, right? So again, positive cash flow is there. You got a real need. Property Singapore very expensive. There's a real demand for such property. Okay, which is why from a rating punya point of view, I think we've given it quite fair. We think from a USP punya point of view, it makes it quite interesting. Okay, so if you go to the next slide again, this is a 3.2, 3.6. We are buying something dekat Johor, whereby from a cash flow punya point of view is quite comparable. Capital gain is better. Now, kenapa is better? Because this is in a tier 2 area. But instead of paying 700 plus per square foot, we pay 420 ringgit per square foot saja. While that property is leasehold, we are buying a freehold property. Right? So again, that property is not bad. We are again buying something better lah. And what we are buying today too, we are buying phase 2, whereby phase 1 is already very proven track record. Right? So that property, our client bought 3 years ago, lepas COVID, at about 360,000 average price point today. If you do co-living room rental on a long-term basis, highest rental declared as of today is 4,200. So bayangkan guys, beli property 400,000, you can rent a rental of 4,002 today. So now we are buying the second phase at a roughly slightly more expensive, tapi more proven punya rental market. So again, we quite like the property dekat Kebun Teh tu. But I think we are just buying something better lah dekat Johor juga. Okay, just to be fair. So jangan cakap DOG is an extreme hater. No. Right? We tell it as it is. If we think it's overpriced, we don't like Airbnb place, we memang tak suka. Right? Because we don't think you will make money long term. We also don't think you can make a lot of money from capital gain, because today there's no evidence whatsoever to say Airbnb property itu will make money long term in terms of rental or capital gain. Tidak ada. Doesn't exist. So when they don't exist, kita tak suka lah. When they exist, kita akan suka. Right? So we don't have a preference of developer or area. We have preference for real life case study. Okay guys? Fair? So don't go and label, Faizul, Sean, extreme hater. Tak suka extreme. No. We're not. Right? So benda betul kita sokong benda. If the number doesn't make sense, the number doesn't make sense. Okay. Well.
Okay, so we continue first. We have the second last. We have Genosphere. This is the second phases from what Majesty have launched in JB. Probably this is, I would say, currently considered the nearest to the RTS CIQ area lah. So because we know, right, currently like few months ago or not 2 weeks ago, the Exim launched this product, Majesty's or Summer Suite, MPW, all in the JB, everyone launching all these CIQ RTS kind of product lah. So what we have here today is one of the latest launches. Okay, so this is the phase 2 lah. So current units 732 units freehold. So they have different sizes. The smallest is 497, the biggest is 854 square feet. This is a 3-bedroom, but from the layout wise, is a dual key. From my point of view, is a dual key convertible unit lah. So the other one is the 672 square foot. This is a proper dual key. So they actually designed a dual key layout accordingly already. So completions of 2029, they have the rooftop pool. They have the gym, everything, co-working spaces, quite standard lah. I would say all the facility in this area. So what are they marketing for this is prime location with good accessibility, 440 meter to JB Central, 260 meter to RTS. So this is probably one station interchange. You go to Woodlands, you'll reach. They have a cover walkway to CIQ. So we'll have a seamless transition lah for you to travel to work in Singapore. So probably this is some of the property that people will consider to rent because they have this cover walkway, to CIQ or to RTS. Okay, so it's a freehold product. It's a dual key flexible layout. So probably the downside of, I would say, all these areas actually the upcoming supply. So actually I have counted all the upcoming supply in the area, including the upcoming 4 phases. Units is close to about 18 to 19,000. that was advertising for this RTS, CIQ, walking distance, 18
How
to
many
19,000.
number of units, Albee?
Close to 18 to 19,000. I have the list.
Guys, this is something the agents will never tell you. Everyone tell you RTS great, but they will never tell you what's the full supply, right?
So
This is you're talking about existing supply or even new coming supply?
this is existing launches supply.
Just
New
as
lah.
purchase supply.
A new launches supply, not considering R&F phase 1 that's already completed, all that lah. So yeah. So there's
Excluding
many,
those,
many 18
Wow.
to sorry.
Excluding those, excluding, right?
Excluding those completed very old lah. So it's only consider those very new, newly completed, upcoming new launches supplies that has been launched. Whatever we have know lah. Okay, it's not the rumors saying this 1,008 by somewhere. All this that are not considered lah. Okay, that one I'm not sure about how many units we're gonna plot the land or whatever. But the one that is has launched, pre-launch or whatever, that's gotten all the agents. Yeah, so it's close to 18 to 19,000 for this area. So for the prices for Genosphere, it seems to be considered one of the cheapest. Not the cheapest. Sorry, one of the, I would say, currently close to about 1,002 per square feet. The nearest to the RTS station. Okay, hence for this price point. So yeah, median, because RTS still not open up yet. Everyone is selling these prices. So currently the median of this area was about close to 760 per square foot. There's no real transaction, just like what Sean shared just now. So those who make cash flow, they don't want to let go of their unit. Yeah. So those who are upcoming was okay, I want hyping up on this all these new launches prices. I want to hold the price first. I want to wait until or really reach until 1,002 or 1,003 per square foot. Only I want to sell the unit. That's the current market of this, I would say this JB, CIQ area kind of context. So it's hard to find the transaction for real transaction. People really transacted, close to 1,000 per square foot and above. There's only the launches prices asking to sell, but there's no people really enter the market with these prices because property might get old, maintenance issue. That's people are considering, because you have to consider there's so many upcoming supply choices that you can choose in the market, right? So yeah, hence this is what people are thinking on this market lah. But if you solely talk about current rental, as in let's take RNF Studio, just take 2,000, okay, as normal market. Okay, if you go with this dual key layout, 2,000 times 2 is close to 4,000. The mortgage for you to own a Genosphere for this dual key layout is about close to 3,002. So it's going to make a positive kind of cash flow. This is how agents, I think they are pitching all these RTS or CIQ product in all these JB. They'll tell you dual key, or don't talk, even not dual key, talk about normal room rental. So you rent out your master bedroom, your medium room, your partition room. So it's going to make a positive cash flow in the market. So hence probably this is what people are pitching about this market. But with the upcoming supply, I have saw some discussion about people's worrying about all this upcoming supply. How is it able markets going to absorb all these launches of supply? Of course, there's a lot of people who commute daily to Singapore to work. Hence, at the end of the day, is it the nearest, the distance for you to this RTS? You have the covered walkway, going to make a significant differences in the markets. So this is what people are considering, the prices, the market, the walkway, the distances in the area, and the supply lah, I guess is what is on top of everyone's head, that have to be considered. The cash flow will looks quite all right. Hence, this is why you can see it's just the prices is not that good. The booster we have RTS. Supply is one because there's like close to 18,000 of supply in the area. I can't give you 5-star, right? So MRO, they have different market, different segmentation, because considering the sizes, like what I mentioned just now, is up to 800 plus of square feet. So it can be a own stay, people who have a small family, they commute to Singapore to work. So they have a setup of small family here. So it's not solely like the KLCC product, you know, the layout is just only can go for, you know, Airbnb friendly. Yeah, so that's why the MRR was about 3.8 star. The USP was 1 star only, was because of the prices lah. So USP was considering prices, layout, master plan, all this, right? So I can't consider this is a big master plan because I mean RTS all this JB already has being developed by single developer. There's no master plan for this township or whatever things for this JB. Hence is for the USP is just 1 star. Okay, so capital gain 3 star, cash flow was 4 star. Multiple exit options in terms of prices. If let's say it goes well, the question is whether this price is going to be transacted and in the next 5 to 6 year time for this 1,002 per square feet for people to exit. Hence is a bit arguable for that. But in terms of cash flow, I think is a good sign, because you can see from the final rating, the capital gain was 2.2, for the cash flow rating is of 3.75. So okay lah, not too bad. But yeah, just the upcoming side, because there are some people who say, rather than you rent in Singapore, why don't you buy a unit to stay in JB? So if let's say the people are really buying for own stay instead of renting out the unit for future cash flow, so is the cash flow being that good because you are actually staying on your own? So it's a bit different lah on how people will see lah. I guess that's how agent also pitch lah. If you work in Singapore, why do you want to pay the rent, right? Just get something in JB. You can take the RTS and go to Singapore. You know, it's so close to you. You know, rather than pay the rent to somewhere you can own a unit. Yeah. So if let's say if you are going to, you know, staying, probably you are going to work in this area for 5 to 10 years just for own stay, and not going to pay for some other, you know, rental in Singapore. You want to come back with your family, have a small family to meet every day. So maybe all this CIQ kind of RTS kind of product is something that people would consider. But yeah, in terms of long-term exiting, yeah, that's my concern, or everyone concern when they wanted to exit this product in one day with so many upcoming supply. And probably there's much more upcoming supply that we wouldn't know, yeah, in the market lah, for this Genosphere. So that's our take. So the next one, we go with the next one first. So the next one we have is actually Mori Park in Selangor, Shah Alam area. So actually they have phase 1 and 2. So phase 2 is currently just pre-launches. So this is a leasehold. Square feet wise, they have 550 square feet up to 958 square feet. So why do actually, you know, in this Shah Alam area, they also come up with such a small sizes? Because this Mori Park is going to, I would say it's not really connected directly. Sorry. It's not really connected directly to the LRT station, but it's about 700 meters with a covered walkway. So considering as a Shah Alam or Selangor area for new gens for staying up, so they are started to have this kind of trend to propose a smaller sizes where people, you know, for new gen, a small family, they can stay on their own, because this 550 square feet is a 1+1 bedroom kind of layout. So instead of you have a big size family, you can have your own studio or one bedder to stay in this area. Hence, this is why the layout is also quite small, being introduced the area. Completion is about 2029. Facility, they have pool, jogging track, multi-purpose hall, game room, gym for the area. So what people agents marketing is the first transit-oriented development.
Albee, potentially I can continue on this.
Oh, okay. Can
Right. Okay. So yeah. Sorry guys, I'm back. Right. So this is Mori Park, Shah Alam. I know Albee shared.
Tiba-tiba je masuk.
baru
Sorry.
je landed. Dah rush balik.
Balik dari kampung lah, balik dari kampung.
Hebat lah.
Right. So just to share lah, roughly, I heard Albee shared just now. So roughly this is Mori Park, Shah Alam. Roughly to share this area landmark is at Stadium Shah Alam at section 13 there lah, right? So
and the one that we are assessing is the one that phase 1 called Alia, right? So they have 4 items in the development called Mori Park. So the phase 1 is Alia, the phase 2 called Bayu, right? Alia is the one that they launched already, and phase 2 the one they still collecting interest, right? There will be a residential as well, and another 2 is future developments, right? And they've got this TOD feature in the development by distance, of Mori is under OSK group, right? So Mori Park, right? So they've got this TOD feature. So kalau you go and search Mori Park, the first thing that you're gonna see is TOD development, the first TOD development in Shah Alam, right? So this is gonna be one of them because Shah Alam known as KTM punya base lah, right? Not even the LRT lah. So LRT upcoming, right? So this is gonna be one of them. Apart from those at ICT later in the future, okay? By distance, actually not really. As my Albee, I think Albee did mention about 800 meter to LRT. And also by Selangor plan, TOD means whatever walking within 400 meter, right, to the LRT and MRT. But not for this one. But since it's a link and connected by a link bridge, right? So this can be considered as TOD lah, TOD development as well, right? And this area would say the centered, quite centered area in Klang Valley, as you can reach Shah Alam, you also can reach KL. So section 13 considered located in the middle, not too far for those 2 key areas, Shah Alam and KL. Subang also just next door lah, right? Access wise, all quite great lah. So they have all these so right, so they got all these highways nearby, Federal Highway and KVE at the back, Elite, and few other lah like Kesas and apa semua, right? So I think I'll be able to go through this part. So next slide. Yeah, someone asked in the chat box, tak banjir ke? So this area well known as bukan well known, known as a banjir area. I think about 3 years ago, 3-4 years ago lah, right? The flooded ataupun kawasan yang tenggelam dekat sana, MSU area and apa semua tu. So this is the site lah, right? So you can see all the agents POV. We would say that this is quite neutral, quite baik agent untuk Mori Park right? I think they just sell the product. They don't really upsell because they don't really target. I would say they don't really target many investors to go and see this product, right? But all of these are all okay. They mentioned about first TOD in section 13 Shah Alam, are well connected, obviously. They are also targeting own stay investors, prime growth location due to the upcoming TOD. But the one that we highlighted in red is near MSU, strong student demand. It is true, but we don't really see student demand as something USP, right? But they do, right? It's just another demand, it's just another segment of tenant that potentially gonna rent in the area, right? So next slide. So this is the informations. Price roughly about 540 from 520 plus minus an average about 540 PSM in the area, which a median in the area about 510 ringgit lah for section 13. Considering those newly completed about few years ago, I think about three, 4 condos the area, right? So can see the rental in the area. We take benchmark towards a Dian Utropolis Urbano. This one is low rise condo lah, okay, and also Metia lah, the one that more comparable, right? Can see the 2-bedder in the area roughly is gone up to 1,506. Some of the asking up to about 1,009, right? 3-bedder is up until about 2,000, 2003 to 2005 actually, but some of them asking a little bit higher due to the best spec and apa semua, right? And some of them renting studio roughly about 1,000 to 1,200 in here, all right, in comparable location, where we can see some of the layout. The 550 is AMM, service apartment maupun bilik. So let's scrap that one. So second is type B, type C and D lah, which is the 829 3-bedder. 958, very unique feature that your original unit is 3-bedder. It is dual key convertible. Hence it can become 1 studio and 2-bedder unit lah, right? So roughly about from 1,009 to 2,000 ish punya monthly mortgage right? Versus the rental would say that at least can give a break even or slight positive cash flow punya numbers right? Due to the price macam okay, And the rental even it's on the low average side, but still versus the price still can give you at least a break even lah, right? It's quite neutral on this sense, right? So next slide. Right. So we're here at 8 property filter. Yeah, price wise we run and turn out it is about 3.5 star average for price. This one quite okay for this area because as of today can see the median roughly about 510 ringgit PSF, and versus other new launches which is not really much in the area, right? But there are some they just completed about 5 years ago lah, and also upcoming in the area, right? Booster wise is totally clear. LRT3 has a booster for this one. Supply versus demand, there are few property in the area new and just completed, also upcoming lah, right? Hence the average about 3.67 star. MRO is a 2 star, mainly focusing on the long-term rental. On the rental segmentation is more towards a family, single, local lah, right? In the area, and also plus the TOD users since TOD gonna complete first before this development, right? Cash flow is a 4 star. Due to some of the layout is dual key convertible, it might give a more positive cash flow lah, right? But as mentioned, at least can give a break even to slight positive cash flow, right? USP is 2 star, more towards the size and price. Sorry, layout and size and price. Due to the layout, it has a dual key convertible punya layout lah, right? And return on capital, capital gain and also cash flow is a 3 star range. Due to the return on capital from the rental is giving a slight positive cash flow, and also capital gain, we believe the number will be positive impacted by the LRT upcoming, right? And on multiple rental option, multiple exit option is a 3 star, right? Hence, overall star rating for capital gain is 3 star, and cash flow is to put 2.8 star lah, right? Which we believe is quite quite fair on this. And not we give, but after we run lah, right? These numbers are, so the final number is 3.0 lah for capital gain and 2.8 for cash flow lah, right? So yep, I think that's all for Mori Park. Yep. Okay, think I pass the floor to Albee again. Or Faizul.
Okay, so I think we can call off all our panel before we go to the Q&A in terms of what do they think about our review for our last 3 properties. Right? You got Mori Park, you got Genosphere.
We got Asteriaz.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's go, guys. William first. Before we move to Q&A.
Yeah, sure. For JB1, actually Genosphere, to be honest, quite interesting. In fact, my friend asked me to buy also together. Tapi unfortunately dia tak dapat unit lah because fully booked apparently. So yes, that's for Genosphere. Although the criteria that he chose because to go forward with it, because comparing to all the other new developments in the area, right, it's pretty good lah. The price, the package, the density, all that stuff. But yeah, again, you want to take into consideration of the 8 filters. Don't forget, right? The supply demand, all of that stuff. So overall, it's 3.3 stars each lah, right? And for Mori Park, I think again the question here is actually about the layout, because at Shah Alam, if you do small size, of course, obviously the developer one target students good. For the owners, right, most likely investors want to, or even newbie investor or first home buyer, right? That's why they build a smaller size. I think I think Shah Alam side macam not so good lah for smaller size punya too. So
Hang
Oi.
already.
Hang.
Hang already.
Anyway, I just came back from JB. Very, very exciting. Okay, so for investors, very exciting. For developers who have launched, super exciting. We are all sold out. Then for launching developers, those who have stocks, right? They are worried about a bubble already, which is crazy.
For launching of property developers.
Yeah. So like everybody is like, okay, 1,000, which happened last year per square feet, sold out. Wow. 1,001, let's go. 1,002, let's go. So sooner or later, 1,005 will come. And because also I know this particular developer, met them already. They are landowners for a lot of lands in that particular area. So the old man did a superb job lah. Don't know what happened lah. So they are not only building themselves, they are collaborating with 4 or 5 different developers, all simultaneously launching all together, and all sold out. Very,
Wow.
very exciting. So very, very exciting. After going there, coming back to KL, right? I think I want to buy more units in KL. Because
What's a bit different?
huh?
You want to buy more, you want to buy more unit in KL?
Yeah. Because okay lah, from numbers point of view, you look into the rental, right? Like whatever we think 1,002, 1,005 is going to be expensive. We can only have a very clear insight when RTS starts operating for 2 years. If the custom is still the same, I don't think so lah. Then it's going to suck lah. But if the custom is really one stop kind of thing, the market will explode. Right? So it's a software thing now, not a hardware. And when we say like there's going to be 18,000 units, because I go and count, I flew the drone on the map. Okay, here 2,000 units, here 3,000 units. My number was 15. I don't know how you get 18 lah. But almost there lah. It depends where we cut off the timeline only. Yeah. So staggering, but when you tell this to a lot of people, right? Yes, I understand, but sold out or you don't buy me. Sold out or so that's the sentiment after I speak to a lot of people. I was in R&F walking around, go Coffee Bean, met some people know me. Hey, you want to buy here? But you look at R&F, still very empty. That seems to be the most prime already. That's like the worst mall in KL. Even the worst mall in KL is better than that, in my opinion, from a crowd point of view. So, very mixed. And when you pay 1,002, right? Don't expect, like when we pay 1,002, we want atas kind of thing, kind of feel, right? Don't have one. JB don't have one. It's an old town, a very old town. So you pay 1,002 for that one, is purely for the software to get into the currency of 3.3, going into 3.5 soon. Yeah lor. So to me, I also went back to Samuel Iskandar, where I grew, right? So I think that one more exciting from an infrastructure point of view. Roads are better, landscapes are better, eco-botanic side is awesome. But for Mori Park one, this one is just the same model like what they do in Puchong South. They have the Nara, the 4 blocks kind of thing. They launch 1 block, fully sold, second block, 80% sold, then they kind of massage a little bit more for the third. So for subsequent projects, they are just responding to whatever the market wants, which is again a strategy, and it's working. You're gonna not have too many complaints because they have done so many times adapting from the model from Ryan and Miho. Yeah, it's the same model. So I think everybody now is working on a model that they can build further. Only in JB when you have 12 different developers building 12 different things. That one a bit kelam kabut everywhere lah. I go to 7 different sites. Fly, right? I really appreciate KL. From a master plan point of view, nothing against Johor Bahru, okay?
I I can add a bit. Actually, I don't know what to say because my friend actually really asked me because I have quite a few agents contact me to go for this JP, and also I have some of my friends asking me to buy or not to buy. Then I say they have to queue one, it's not sold out, like sold out. They have to queue first, pre-launch. They have to register your name. Then it's like lucky pick. You are the lucky one. You get the
Yeah,
unit
ballot.
you have to something like that's the thing happen on this property. So everyone's like, yeah, I got the unit, So my after getting the unit, my friend asked me what's the take, because suddenly they feel like, so I got the unit, should I proceed or not to proceed, I say if you got the unit, you hopping on the markets, and so because he got the Genosphere lah, so it should be the closest lah, and the prices looks all right. Still okay lah. It's not too bad kind of prices, but yeah, in terms of the planning of the road or everything, probably JB is a bit not that great lah, because it's if we talk about this RTS, people are asking how's the cover walkway is going to be, like summer suits without cover walkway. So people asking how are you going to walk under the commercial shop lots, through the hotel, through the lorong or here and there. So to me, is all this kind of small thing actually will make your product a bit different, or you make your product competitive lah, when you want to exit the markets in the time being lah, for other than the prices also. So like for example, Asteriaz, for it seems to be quite all right. The prices is actually not too far from the median. It's just at a nice price point for it. So it seems to be okay. But you talk about all these RTS product where people launch 1,000, 1,000, 1,002, 1,003, it seems to be all sold out. So like what Sean mentioned just now, like I thought there's bubble worried from the the consumer, like those buyers, worrying about the bubble, but I'm not sure. Like Delpo also have such concern of this, because to me it's like they are the one who launch all these kind of product, right? So because they also will be worrying about this bubble in the markets. Yeah.
Because of COVID nah. Everyone got it once before, ma.
Yeah.
So
understood.
everybody learned from it, ma.
True
So
also.
No lah, I will tell you the reason why they are worried. They are not worried. They are worried that they cannot capture
the highest price.
timing in time.
Oh.
Number two is that regulation is coming. Because the government is worried. Developer is only worried about one thing and one thing only. Can I get the highest density? Can I launch at market peak? Right? That's their worry. Everyone is just trying to cash out.
And I just figured out the perfect sales pitch, right, for all JB salespeople.
Apa dia?
Imagine last time when you buy Astaka, that one was the peak of the price already. Opposite Setia 88, right? Another extra 100, 200 per square feet, right? You orang kaya tak tahu nak buat apa dengan duit you, you buy Astaka. Now it's half price. Now it's dirt cheap. You compare to all these upcoming launches at 1,000, 2,003, right? Wow. You think the market can go further?
Is Asaka half price now?
No. I mean, the price you pay lah during the COVID time lah. Then you look at, right? Then like I think it's going to be 700, 800 per square feet. Then you look at what the people are buying right now. Compare the specs, compare the luxuriousness, compare the prestiginess of things like that. The market can go, don't worry.
Well, officially we have a bull run in Johor. So that's for sure, right? So number two here is that from a sentiment and confidence is already at the peak. Right? So we are now in a way, right? this is similar to how before LRT extension got completed lah, whereby the properties in Puchong is going for 650, 700 ringgit per square foot. Then the moment the LRT is completed, then things drop to about 500 to 550 per square foot.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, this has happened before. It has happened 10 years ago. Well, great thing is that you attend session like this, you get to learn a little bit about history. You don't buy into market overconfidence. Because sometimes, right, it's just very hard to stay sane. If you meet 10 people, all 10 people make you feel so bad about not buying. Right? So I have to admire Sean's ability to just think straight. Right? Because after that conversation, people asking him, huh? You're not buying Johor? Huh? You're not buying Johor? Huh? You're not buying Johor? He can come and say, conclusion is that I want to buy more in KL.
KL cheap lah, dirt cheap eh.
Ah,
You compare prices, right? More KL is so underpriced now.
yeah. Rental is proven,
Yeah, lor.
right? So yeah. I think, like I said, I think the market in Johor here is that I think people are just gambling in many cases because there's nothing evident, there's nothing factual from a data point of view. There's no transaction above 1,001 per square foot even today in subsale market. Don't have. Right? People are launching at 1,005, 1,004, right? So there's a bubble in Johor already. I think let's just call it as it is lah. There's already a property bubble in Johor, right? It's quite furious to the point that the developer is worried about bubble, right? So developer don't worry about property bubble, right? Normally they don't worry. So the only time I think they worry is that will I be fast enough to be part of this bubble? Because the idea is to quickly offload, launch, quickly offload, and then I transfer the risk to someone else, right? Because otherwise I have to wait 15 more years before the next opportunity per se lah.
Yeah.
Right? So yeah, I think things are going to be very interesting in Johor. We're not against it. We're not for it. Again, what we are buying in Johor is very clear. We are buying at 450 ringgit per square foot in Johor. We let everyone pay 700, 800, 1,002. Mantap. Terbaik. Sila teruskan. Great buy. Right? While we continue to buy Mount Kiara 600 ringgit per square foot, we buy Mount Astin at 450 per square foot. We go buy Iskandar Putri, right, at 450 per square foot. Right? So for us, it's as simple as that, like guys. Yeah. So yeah, I think let's move to Q&A.
All right. Okay, hold on. Okay, so first question. Hi Faizul. So aren't you biased as Noordinz is all small sizes? How can you compare to your product that is bigger in size?
I think the data is pretty clear, right? Even small size in Penang is only 1,001 per square foot. That's the transacted price, right? And the closest one there is actually from Tropicana. If you go to the larger size unit, like I said, the average median for tier 1 in Penang is about 800 ringgit per square foot. So I don't know what you mean lah. I'm biased towards correct data lah. I'm biased towards buying at the right price point lah. That's my bias lah. If you're not agreeable to that, I got nothing else to say lah. Everything that we have presented tonight is data driven, based on data lah. Right? So yeah.
Yeah, maybe I can add a little bit. Actually,
Sure.
Penang Island, right? Everyone knows Penang is a capital gain game due to mainly its own stay centric, focus centric, right? It's more towards own stay. So Penang one, you have to be aware about what is their segment of people buying the property in Penang, right? So those are mainly as of today, there will be more migrants, retirees coming and pergi retire dekat Penang, right? So as also transaction prove the same, whereby the bigger size has more higher transaction in PSF. Fun fact, right? Especially on tier 1, those in Tanjung, Bunga, Teluk Bahang ke bawah, right? And also towards Georgetown. Georgetown is the different animal area lah. We can call it as tier 1, but there will be a very limited opportunity for developers to go and develop there because due to the heritage area, the lot cannot develop anymore, right? So Noordinz is gonna be one of the closest to the Georgetown part lah. It's only focusing more on the tourism. But if you say roughly on the Penang Island, memang especially on the tier 1, we would say. So the one that we compared just now is tier 1, the Farah, as well as the Noordinz is tier 1, right? So if you compare those tier 1s area, memang we would say there's big sizes actually has higher price transacted PSF due to the segment is more towards the old stay people who really wants to go buy for them to stay, right? They're not really buying for rental, right? So that's technically is one of the other reason also very limited supply of small sizes in Penang due to the demand of small sizes is very low lah, right? Hence you can see these small sizes only can do Airbnb, right? So yeah, just a bit of sharing about Penang.
Want to add on something. So talking about Penang, yeah. So other than this tourism, like expatriates coming in, other than holiday homes, some as per today's what we observe is the people coming in for example, like all the Chinese, other than Mont Kiara Day, some of them choose to Penang because of food and also because of the international school. So in Penang, there's also some number of international school in the Penang. So example, the one we have in Batu Ferringhi. So when we went actually during after school, so people are just walking back, to their homes. So just walking on the road. It's not taking it's like okay, maybe as Asian or Malaysian, so maybe your parents will fetch you from the school girl, to go back. But all these angmo or these they don't really their kids is just walking from the school just back to their home. So the market probably is a bit different for different area in Penang. So you can see probably like Gurney, the new launches, for example, Westin Suites. So their launches size is very big. One of the sizes, 1,006 square feet was totally sold out. Close to 2,000 per square feet. All the one who books is actually all the Hong Kong people. So because of the sea view lah, but unfortunately, there's not really a unblocked sea view because in front of the Westin Suite there's Andaman by E&O lah. So it's a bit different lah. So Gurney, then we have Tanjung Bunga, Tanjung Tokong, and this Batu Ferringhi area, which will have more expatriates for all the Western. They will prefer to stay in this area. So if Penang locals, of course, they won't really prefer to stay in Georgetown if they can, because this is really a tourism area. They will stay probably in Belugo, Air Hitam, or some they will stay also in Teluk Bahang, Tanjung Bunga kind of area lah. So other than the current affordable or old, not to say flats, apartment lah, they have already bought in very long time ago in the area lah. So Penang is really a bit different markets. The rental is not that great compared to all the other states in Malaysia, but prices I would say digestible from the locals, because for what like Zakri said just now, they want to buy for own stay, so they will go for a bigger in size. Hence the bigger in size in Penang will have a better demand, transacted in higher per square foot than normal small sizes layout lah, or compared to KLCC or some other area, because some other state is like your smaller in size, smaller in layout will driven higher per square foot, but in Penang it's a bit slightly different in market lah. Yeah, because of these expatriates moving in for schools, retirees. Yeah, so that's the segmentation they are finding for homes in Penang. That's what I say lah. Hence will drive the transaction price point in Penang also.
As much as I appreciate the clarification for all the data point of view, right? I'm just thinking like why would he call another person biased? Like, if you like the unit, if you like the project, you can go buy. So when developers design sizes, why 435 square feet instead of 4,000 square feet? There must be a strategy, man. And a strategy, it's the usage of the building to make money for them, to make sales easy for them. So it makes sense for the buyers too. But we mentioned that the risk is legislation, guidelines. When the ban happens on Airbnb, gone case. Will you make money during great times? Like in JB, for my previous design, because I accidentally designed an Airbnb building. Okay, I was the one that pushed the smaller size in Medini, and it's now the ideal Airbnb location. And the owner showed me 1 month 18,000. Sean, you made me a lot of money. Yeah, until Airbnb kena ban. So of course, we don't hope that kena ban, but that's the risk. That's all. Can you make money? Can. What's the safety factor after that? That's all. It's just a different strategy, not whether you like it or not. But when it's not your money, you want to advise somebody else to buy something, there needs to be a safety factor in place. It's a different level of consideration when you are here telling people, so now, can you recommend people to buy what you buy? That's the next level of advice. You can invest and buy yourself, you lose your own money, right? You answer to nobody. Smart. Easiest ever. You lose money, also don't have to tell people what. But when your name is on the place, when your face, like our face is here, you want to tell people, hey, bro, I think this one got risk one, you careful a bit. That's a different ball game. Again, you want to go buy, by all means, man. You are not the only one. It's 90% sold already, right? Yeah, so it's just different things at stake. And again, we are not haters. We are just highlighting the risks and the cons with it. We even tell you the strategy. You buy, get a unit, 4 years later, sell. Even if you make money, sell. But do people listen? I don't think so lah. Money very weird when I expose the real person, ma.
Yeah.
Mm.
I could have sold my regalia in the first 5 years at 100,000 more than the price point today.
Yeah.
Sure, correct lah. If you're gonna do Airbnb, do it, exit within 5 years at market peak, because it's not gonna get better after that with higher competition, and your property becomes worse from a maintenance point of view. Okay, next.
Okay, so there is a question about how can I be far capital client and buy your deal?
You have to sign up. So I think that the team can provide the link at the link below, right? So it's a paid membership. The investment is basically roughly about RM1 per day for a 5-year membership, right? So essentially, you invest basically RM1 per day to buy property at, sometimes 30,000, sometimes 50,000. In the case of Penang, sometimes it's about 200,000 cheaper. In the case of Johor, we're buying about 200,000 cheaper compared to outside price point, right? So if you are keen to buy, the best possible property, and I think coming back to the buyer's bit, right? And of course, coming back to this is that I think you should only become client when you want to have results. Because we're not talking about theory, right? We're not debating theory here, right? How many developments out there who can get 10% rental yield in 3 years? Mana ada? Tell me one. Right? We can get it because we buy at 50% discount. We buy at 30% discount. Right? And then we get the highest number of cash out. So again, right? So property is about first buying it at the right price point. Say price point. Right? Number 2, you also have to execute properly. Right? To make sure that your unit is unique. I've got a client as of today who bought Medini, a place whereby no one cakap laku, no one will say goodbye. And he's doing 200,000 rental for 2 years in a row per year. 200,000. I didn't believe it until he showed me the account. 200,000. So when I see people trying to make RM500, RM1,000 buat Airbnb, and here we have clients making 200,000. So after tolak all costs, 150,000 net profit a year per unit. More than 10,000 per month. Average nightly rate RM800. Occupancy rate 80%. Right? That's what you can get when you have advantage of buying at the right price point, advantage of having cash when you buy, because we make sure that client gets cash when you buy, and then you put the right set of renovation. All right, so if you want all of this unfair advantage of buying cheaper, getting maximum number of cash out, right? You know, getting the maximum number of rental, like the one in KLCC, for example, right? You guys are buying non-branded at 2001. I'm buying now branded at 1005. Right? Big difference. You play alone versus playing together. It's a very big difference. Right? The property that we bought in KLCC was not a branded resident when we bought it. But once we buy it, we put certain things in place, we negotiated a couple of things. Now it's going to become a branded residence. Right? And it's a pretty okay brand. Right? So if you want to have that level of unfair advantage, this level of result, then you become a client. And the investment is RM1 per day, 1,008 for 5 years membership. All right, that's it. Right, so you want to become a client, there's a link there, there's a QR there. Go click, inquire. You know, you start from there.
All right. Okay. Next question. Regarding about Singaporean. So ada dua soalan dekat sini. The first one is from Jia NP. So Singaporean haven't reached MOP, so can still buy these properties. And second question, I'm also new here from Singapore. Can Singaporean buy properties in far capital as well?
So we have a dedicated team that serves Singapore clients, right? So you are the Malaysian PR in Singapore, Singaporean, right? So my recommendation is that be a client, okay? And then the team will look at your full scenario, and then they will give you the next best course of action. Okay? Now, the reason why I say this is because case is different for one person to another. Right? So the advice is not fixed. I don't know you. Right? I only know a little bit of information that you tell about me. Right? I also don't know what's your risk profile. Because the answer to all of your question in the most basic way is yes, you can. Mestilah boleh. Right? But I think the best way is that be a client, get to your one-on-one, because you're going to be self-dedicated by a Singapore, you know, client team that serves Singapore clients who is very familiar with the process, very familiar with the rule of law, right? And the money back guarantee here is that if you fail to buy something in the next 5 years, you get a full refund, right? So you might not be able to buy today, but you can buy 6 months later or 1 year later. And if you fail to buy after 5 years, you get a full refund. So you really have nothing to lose. Okay? You got nothing to lose.
All right, next question. Do all the properties in far capital meet the property filter criteria?
We do rating 3 and above. So we don't buy anything which is below 3, either cash flow or capital gain. So there is no property we have today which is rating wise below 3. Right? So we don't do anything below 3. So in a way, like I said, ideally for every property in far cap, one of it must be at least 4 and above. So the cash flow or capital gain must be at least 4. So it's very rare that we ignore those things. So the answer to your question is yes. Right? So we tend to buy cheapest, right? We go to Johor, we buy the cheapest. We buy below RM500 per square foot, even today in Johor Bahru. However, people are happily paying 700 to 800 ringgit per square foot, almost fully sold, right? So we buy 450. We buy below 400. We go to Penang, we do the exact same thing. No one in Penang Island has bought below 500 ringgit per square foot new from developer in the last 10 years. We are the only guys in the last 10 years. Since 2015, no new launch below 500 ringgit per square foot. We are the only one. So we are doing that lah. So even KLCC today, while people are happily paying 2,000 fully sold, right? 99% sold at 2001. We are going to buy 1,004. Right? So we like to go do that. So naturally lah, when you get the price correct, a lot of things will fall into place, guys. So the lousiest property at the right price point will make money compared to the best property at the wrong price. Because if you are talking about location, then just buy TF lah, just buy KLCC, just buy Pavilion, just buy Bukit Bintang. No need to think about price. Just buy because of location. But the reality is that why is many people who buy RNF all lose money? RTF, right? Right? Because, you know, why most people who buy KLCC, Bukit Bintang, Terex, mostly don't get positive cash flow? Why 99% of the people buy Medini all lose money? Right? Why we are the only party making money in Johor in the last 4 years? Consistently, we have zero development that does not make positive cash flow. Right? We bought 6. Our track record is 100%. Most of our rental yield is almost 10% in Johor. Who else have got that kind of track record? So again, you know, if you understand air filter, if you try to go do it, you understand it's not so easy lah, right? To go and do that, right? So it's like the most advanced predictive calculator on the planet right now when it comes to predicting property investment outcome. Right? You tak percaya, you take our air filter, pergi letak kat ChatGPT, suruh dia tanya.
Okay. Next question is from Vignesh Warren. So I'm very confused when finding that there are many premium properties in Kuala Lumpur which hold very high market values like above 600K, freehold or leasehold, located in prime areas such as Jalan Ampang, Jalan Puchong, Datuk Keramat, KL Central and Kota Damansara. So many of these despite after 10 rounds of auctions yet no bidder till it fall over 16% BMV. May I know why?
The market value has been inflated from day one. So I would argue that would be the best answer, right? I think I know what property you are referring to in Jelati. I also think I know which property you're referring to Jalan Ampang, right? I think I also know what property you're referring to in KL. So many of these property are first and foremost overpriced to begin with. And sometimes they are overpriced by 50%, 60%. Okay. Then number 2 here is that because it's overpriced, the second domino will fall, which is then you have high NPL. High NPL means there's a lot of units go for auction. Right? So that caused the market value of this property continue to drop. So even though if I would say for any of this property, long story short bro, 50% versus SPI, you can just close on and buy. It's okay already. You're not going to lose money. Right? But why? People still don't buy because valuation is quite low because too high NPL. Right? So third bit here is that the people who bought those properties don't know what to do with the property. So they put the wrong rental strategy. As a result, rental value remains low, NPL continues to be high. So it's basically 3 things lah. Wrong price, high NPL, wrong rental strategy. So if you end up becoming to decide to become a client, so all of these risks is essentially eliminated lah. Because most of the time you're gonna buy at below market price, no longer even wrong price, so below market price, number 1. Number 2, from a rental strategy, like I said lah, majority of our portfolio, we don't do anything below 6%. Tidak ada. Average is about 7 to 8%. So it's positive cash flow. So when you have positive cash flow, bro, you got no NPL. So when you got no NPL, you got no auction lah. Itu saja. Right? So we enter a lot of development, by the way, that's got high NPL. Then the moment we enter, rental goes up by 50 to 100%. Suddenly no NPL anymore. Property value begin to go up. We've done so many work like that in Johor especially. whereby in the last 10 years, so much auction. So again, that's the power of playing together in a group, right? So the extreme version of this is that we even, you know, make a lot of effort to control MC or JMB. We invest a lot of money. We encourage client. We rasuah client. Honestly lah, we rasuah client to be part of MC, right? So that we control the future fate of the building. No ban of certain things if you don't want it to be banned. Okay, so again, guys, you can buy the right property, but a bunch of other guys fucked up and do NPL, property value will drop. You can still buy the right property and then deploy the wrong rental strategy. And again, because low rental means low property value, especially for investment grade property, which is why you see all of this Airbnb rental strategy is not the right rental strategy. And we are not against it, you know. It's just there's no evidence to say it's the right move. Every Airbnb property, number one, drop in value upon VP, have got higher number of auction, and the rental value tends to go down over time, even for Airbnb. Right? So, macam tu lah. Right? So that's why lah. So it's overpriced, high MPL, wrong rental strategy. Right? You can control one, which is don't overpay. That's what you can do. The other two you cannot control unless you play in a group like us. Then you can control. Okay.
All right. Next question. Faizul, how do you find a product that is about 450 per square foot in Penang Island? Is it real or is it just a very old property?
Well, you are buying it from a developer. It's not a new, it's not an old property. It's a high-end property. It is perfectly real. And like I said, lah, if you come in to become a client tonight, you can book it next week. Right? Once you complete your screening. Right? Kalau tak ada, you minta refund. It's as real as it gets. Yeah.
All right. So
How we get it? Simple lah. We don't buy 1 unit. We buy 50 unit. We buy 100 unit. That's why we can get cheaper price point. So again, right, when you play as a group, how do I get properties at 40, 50, 60% discount? How do I get developer to give me higher discount? How do I get property developer to give us higher cashback? Because I'm not buying 1 unit. I buy 50 units. I buy 100 units. Right? So I give an example, right? As of today, there are even listed property developers building property purely for far cap client. Right? Can we show the slide for Sora, if there's any tonight? Can you show the slides? Who's in control of the slide? Right? Anyone familiar with the Maluri area? Right? So Maluri area, this is nearby the Velocity punya side lah. So most of the average property price point, right? If you look at the average property price point of Maluri, average median is about 880 ringgit per square foot. I've got a developer building for me dual key units. So that means you got 2 studio unit for the price of 430,000 opposite of Sunview Velocity. Right? So these are development that was built based on Far Capital's feedback. So for 430,000, you got 2 units opposite of a mall, rooftop pool, rooftop cinema, rooftop gym, KLCC skyline. 700 plus per square foot. Right? So that's number one example, right? Number 2 here is that this year I'm looking to launch. Anyone here looking to buy cheap property below 300,000 on 70% loan? You want positive cash flow? Anyone here looking like that? Right? Our cheapest property this year we're going to launch is next to LRT and MRT below 250,000 with rooftop pool. Has for far cap client only. Right? So we've got developers building inventories for far cap client because we're the largest group in Malaysia. And when they take our option, when we build based on our spec, naturally lah, they're gonna pass the A filter lah, which means the property is gonna be easier for them to go and sell because we also want to buy, right? So yeah, so these are the properties that we are basically in a way buying lah. Our cheapest property is below 200,000, right? Called VV, 190K to be exact. Right, this is Cyberjaya. No one has bought Cyberjaya for below 200,000, 220,000 in the last 15 years. No one. We got 100 units. Only 5 capital clients able to buy something in Cyberjaya below 200,000. That's how crazy our deals are. Right? So that's why we get special price point. That's why we get special units. Right? That's why we get better package. Right? So, and that's why our properties are getting your 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, close to 11% rental returns. Okay. Okay.
All right. So since you said that you guys are better in Penang, so can you share a bit of information about that deal and how can I enter that deal in Penang?
Be a client. We cannot reveal anything other than the fact you become a client. Which is why you see, for example, any property that we name today, we cannot even reveal the name. Because we sign NDA with the property developer. So because why? The deal in Penang, for example, many years ago was going for 900 ringgit per square foot. That's why we can't reveal. 10 years ago, it's 900 ringgit per square foot. Then they revised down the SPA to about 700 plus ringgit per square foot, even as of today. So today we are buying at 450 per square foot. We can't reveal. So the only way you can have access to the deal, right, is to become a client. That's it. In fact, if you become a client, very likely we're gonna do a property tour in Penang, right? So we're gonna visit all the tier 1 in Penang lah. But I think it's more likely gonna be 4-5 hours of property tour. The rest of it is makan tour lah. Because it's Penang lah, right? Better make full use of it lah. Right? So that will be a fun trip lah. I will not miss it for the world. So I asked my team to go recce property. Dia tengok 2 property dan selebihnya makan. Pura-pura je buat kerja. Right? So pura-pura work hard lah.
Okay, all right. Next question is from Siti Tiong. So how will properties designed for tourism do in terms of capital gain and exit strategy?
Not great. There's no evidence that say otherwise. That's all. Give me one. Give me one. Super busy property doing very well from a capital gain point of view. Made more than 100,000 for his property owner. Not even one.
Okay, next question is from Moventon. So, hello guys, I am a healthcare provider under government sector. I apply for a PPAM project and was offered 1 unit in Seduduk Kajang, offer RM300K for 1,000 per square feet. So, this is my first property. Should I take this unit for investment purpose? What is your opinion?
Number one, when you buy PPA, these are government subsidized housing, right? It's not meant for investment because I think there's a limit, right? So number one. Number two, if you look at the rental rate in Kajang, I think you're gonna struggle to go get 6 to 7% rental yield, right? So unless you are next to LRT, and even LRT based property in Kajang also will struggle to get above 1,008 lah. So you're gonna pay 1,005 in mortgage, 200 to 300 in maintenance. All right, if your facility is there, you need to rent roughly about 1,007, 1,008 just to break even. Right? I think it's going to be tough lah, from investment point of view. Right?
It would be a better choice if you use that slot for your own stay. Use your open slot for investment.
You go do PPA Bukit Jalil 300,000, Mont Kiara 300,000, Desa Park City 300,000. Pakai lah bro, do it lah. You're gonna make money lah. For sure you can earn above 2,000. Not in Kajang lah bro. Right? So reserve it lah. Answer is no lah. We don't recommend PPA for investment. Even if you want to go PPA, boleh lah. But pilih lah location macam Brickfields ke, strategic sikit bro. Jangan pergi Kajang. Kajang tu, ayo, cannot make it.
Wow, the Desa Park City one. Whoa.
Ah,
Sophia tu kan? Sophia.
I pun tak
Sophia.
tahu lah apa dia.
I think the name is
Sophia.
Sophia.
Ah.
Dalam tu ada Mustang punya.
Wah.
Tak tahu doktor siapa lah, but okay.
Lai.
Next, okay, is from Dylan. I heard a JAL Bukit Bintang requires 50K deposit to do Airbnb. Curious, what is the impact for investors and demand if something like this happens to other developments like those listed tonight? Would it lessen supply of Airbnb in the development, etc.?
I like the idea. In fact, I proposed this idea 2 to 3 years ago to any development that wanted to ban Airbnb. I said, I don't think you should ban. I think you should maintain minimum standard of the operator. So a serious operator would be okay to pay a 10,000 deposit or 20,000 deposit to the JMB and maintain a certain level of price point. So in all honesty, I like the idea. I think 50,000 is a little bit too much lah. But like I said, I heard certain groups who buy completely below market. So 50,000 is nothing for them lah. Right? But I like the idea. I think it will eliminate cheap players. Right? It will eliminate cheap players and it will reduce the supply. So I think it's a positive thing.
I think it's not good enough. Besides money, which is easy, like moving forward, right? At least you gotta be like, we have operated 5-6 years already, or we have a track record already, so you turn into a professional property manager. Not like doing Airbnb part-time when you travel the world. Then you do a vlog about it. Because the cause of it is, when I cannot make COVID taught all these owners one thing, like when the shit hits the fan, right? Operators can just chow one, Not because you sign an agreement with an operator, right? Most operators is a 2 ringgit company. No more 2 ringgit now. But you get the point. It's all a sole prop where you can register yesterday. Today I'm an operator. Who is cleaning the bed sheets? There my auntie bring down the blanket to the Dobie downstairs. That's all. So when you have shortage of professionalism, you times that with 18,000 units, how's the market going to look like? Your operating cost is going to be like 20 bucks an hour. Then when people want to charge the room rate, you need 400 to break even. People can do for 280, you will die. Yeah. And when people start losing money in tax, hey, why all these room rental people all make a lot of money and got pay tax or not? Technically, it's all business tax. It's not investment tax. It's not capital gain tax. It's business tax. I would suggest go for TIN number, register e-invoicing before you start operating. That should be the requirement at least. Well, this is me lah.
Well, I agree, more regulation. I agree eliminating not serious players. These guys are not going to be very happy lah, but I think as a building owner, I want capital gain. I want minimum standard lah.
Okay, our next question is from Katie. So hi, for Capital member here, can I check if Riri is already launched earlier or not yet launched?
Belum lagi, brother. Belum lagi. Kita sudah bagi code name Riri. Right, so but it's not launched yet, so don't worry. You didn't miss out on anything. Your SM is doing his part. Sabar. So most likely in the next 2 weeks nanti kita launch, okay? Be on standby lah, bro.
Okay, all right. So ada question about, can I know more about Far Capital? How can I enter and buy all your property deals?
I think the simplest way is that rather than we explain, right, over and over, there's a link. WhatsApp our team. If you want to know any question, the team and the AI bot will answer. most of the question that you might have, right? So today, you know, so go do that, right? And then any question that you want to ask, you can ask, and then after that we take it from there.
Okay, all right. Next question is from Lionel. So when the bubble pop in JB, many buyers lose money. It can stain JB property market reputation. Will it affect current rental market or property prices to go lower due to ruined reputation?
Well, that's basically what has happened, right, in the last 10 years. So for those who don't, I guess, fully understand the historical context for Johor, right? And this is where me and Sean come in, right? As the older investor here, the senior citizen lah, who have gone through a property bull run in Johor, then property crash in Johor. Now we have a second cycle, right? So the bull started in Johor in 2010. All right, so with the announcement of Iskandar region lah, basically. That was the beginning of the story of Johor Bahru will become Shenzhen. Singapore is Hong Kong, Johor Bahru is Shenzhen. So that was the story. So developer launched 1 or 2 development similar to today. Wow, everything fully sold. Right? Even at record prices of 700, 800, 900, 1,000 per square foot, also fully sold. Right? So what happened after a couple of years is that they realized that infrastructure is not ready to support those kind of price point. The Singaporeans or the Malaysian working in Singapore don't want to stay in JB because the commuting is horrible. So as a result, property price, because the local don't want to buy anything but 400 ringgit per square foot for high rise, because there's a lot of cheap landed property in Johor, right? So why would anyone pay anything worth 500,000 for a high rise? Right? So what happened? Price crash lah. So when price crash, then after COVID, Far Capital enter Johor, we buy things at 50, 60, almost 70% discount. Right? So 99% of the people who buy Johor all lose money except for Far Cap line. Because we bought 300 ringgit per square foot, 350 per square foot, 400 ringgit per square foot. So we make a killing, we make money. Now, because RTS is about to be completed, the level of speculation is now going through another version of a bull run all-time high. The only difference as of today versus back then is that as of today, the infrastructure is a lot better compared to 10 years ago. 10 years ago, purely story and hope and dreams, really. So today, infrastructure, the commuting is a lot more pleasant, and it's going to be even better in the next 12 months, I would say, after RTS is completed. Right? So now, will we have a property crash in Johor? On a personal opinion, I don't think so. So I don't think we'll crash 50% just like 10 years ago. Right? But if you overpay, you have a very high probability of losing maybe 20, 30% of whatever your investment is. So let's say you pay 1,004, there's a high probability you're going to lose 10, 20, 30% of that. Because again, let me repeat, the data today is very clear. There is no evidence today that people want to pay above 1,001 in subsale as of today in Johor. Tak ada. Don't have. Don't have. Subsale transaction tak ada, guys. Right? Penang tak ada 1,004, guys. So when you don't have a subsale transaction 1,004 in Penang, don't have subsale transaction of 1,004 in Johor, why the hell you go and buy lah? That's my point lah. That's the question we're asking. Why we buy at 400 ringgit per square foot? Because go transaction at 400 ringgit per square foot. Area transaction 500, we buy at 400. Of course, we are going to be okay lah. But we cannot tell the same. So again, whether in Penang, whether in Johor, whether in KL, whether in Selangor, guys, the people with knowledge will make money irrespective of the market. Sean will make money. I will make money. Zakri will make money. William will make money because we look at the data. We have zero preference. William is literally buying everywhere. Literally buying everywhere, right? Because we don't have a preference of area, we have a preference of data, right? So now, Will there be people losing money in the next 10 years in Johor? I bet you there is. Especially those who are paying above 1,300 ringgit per square foot. For sure got. For sure will have. Right? But the people paying below 500 ringgit per square foot all will make shitload amount of money. That's all. Right? So, again, as Johor Bahru, from a market point of view, is terrible. Because why? 99% guys, 99% of people bought something in Johor in the last 10 years, all lose money. 1% they make money. So by right, it's a horrible market. Who asked you to go and join 99? No one is forcing you to go join 99%. You can be part of the 1%. Really. If you are joining this session, even not as a client, in my opinion, you already know what price point to not buy. I did give you a very clear indicator. Anything with less than 4 star, from a capital gain point of view, jangan beli. Kalau you want to make money lah in the next 5 years. You want to make money from cash flow, anything less than 4 star, jangan beli juga from cash flow. Okay? Simple je. I cannot make it more simpler for you. All, I guess, your requirement is that spend a couple of hours every month to go and learn something lah. Attend webinar like this. That's it. I think, look, you attend tonight webinar, you understand Selangor, you understand KL, you understand Penang, you understand Johor. Right? 3 hours spend.
All
Okay.
right. Okay. Next question is from DL. So the mentioned Cyberjaya deal with 70% LTV, has it been launched or are you referring to VV?
The 70% deal, the one with the LRT MRT hasn't been launched. It'll be by end of the year. Not VV.
Okay, next question is from Raymond. So heard Sunway CIQ is if launching 2,000 per square foot. So will it pull up surrounding price? Surrounding lah.
Yes.
Surrounding price.
Yes. Similar to KLCC lah. Last time people who bought at 1,009, 1,008 also not very sure. Did I make the right decision to pay 1,008 buying KLCC? Suddenly one guy that launched at 2005, 2007, wow, I sure win already. Right? So a lot of people will justify, hey, this guy launching at 2,000 per square foot, I pay 1,003. I sure okay one. Right? But the reality here is that if your rental cannot make it, because this is an investment-based property, it's not going to make it lah, whether 1,003 or 2,000. Right? What will ensure happen here is that there'll be more developer launching at 1,005 per square foot, because now everyone can say, see my project cheaper than Sunway by 500 ringgit per square foot. You better buy my project. That's all. That is certain, for sure. Guarantee. Every developer will now use Sunway as a benchmark. See, Sunway launched 2,000. My product better. Better buy my product 1,005. Value for money. Tengok subsale transaction 1,000 per square foot, susah nak cari. Tak boleh jumpa. Almost non-existent. But suddenly 1,005 looks very cheap. So guys, the worst thing you can do, right? Albee, maybe it can be an education for everyone. Can you go back to the earlier slide talking about price? Right? And then you share the screen. This is just to give you indication how we give star rating for price. I think it's the first kali when we discuss the 8 filter. Okay, zoom it out. Okay, guys, this is to give you a sense, just to get one rating correct. What are the things that the research team here that has to go through just to get the star rating correct. Okay. Now, when you look at somebody doing 2,000 per square foot, you have to look at B. What is the comparable development new from a price per square foot and also absolute price point? So that means if that developer launching at 1,005, then you compare to Sunway at 2,000, his development will actually look quite okay. Because at 1,005, it will look like 25% cheaper compared to other developments. So far, follow, guys. But that is only 1 out of 5. All right. We still look at area median. We still look at the comparable development. We look at replacement cost. And then we look based on tier. That's why for price is very, very, very hard for us to give 4-star and above. Because in order to get 4-star and above, you must make sense, area median point of view, comparable development, you must make sense, must be okay, must be cheaper compared to new launches, must be okay compared to replacement cost, and must be okay based on comparable tier. So it's not just the area now, but it's other comparable tier. Guys, just to get price correct, there's more than 10 sets of data we have to collect just for this.
15 price.
Sorry, 15. Right. So if you can find anything under DOG, whereby we give 4-star and above, it's already 50% there. Really. Means you're not overpaying. You are paying at least a minimum slightly below market value. That's why we are not afraid to rate certain developments. We're not afraid developers sending legal letter because, well, this is the methodology, right? If you want to challenge this, show us proof that you are actually cheaper compared to this. And none of them can do it. And this is not arrogance. This is just, well, we have a formula. And if your property is correctly priced, it will fit the formula. Otherwise, cannot. So guys, this is not a child's play. Right? Just to do one deal or grill, preparation is 2 weeks. Because we have to collect all the data. Okay?
All right, next question is from Shan Lina. I'm wondering, why is Johor so hot? RTS is still not completed and not rental market is full. Why are all these tenants coming from since RTS still not ready?
2 things. Number 1, the speculation is normally greater prior to the completion of the infrastructure. Number 1, right? Number 2 here is that inflationary pressures coming out of Singapore, that is actually quite genuine, right? From a demand point of view. It's too expensive in Singapore. People are being priced out from a rental point of view, from a cost of living point of view, from a food cost point of view. That's why.
Okay, next question is from Aiman. What is the cycle now in KL and Selangor? Are we going to bull phase?
We are already at the beginning of the bull run phase already. Right? If you look at the data, number of property transactions, right, in KL and Selangor has jumped to a 3rd or 4th all-time high in the history of Malaysia in 2024. Price have continued to steadily climb up. Rental has gone up even faster than price. So in every property bull run, rental go up dulu, then only price go up later. So all property bull run macam tu. Rental naik dulu because of undersupply. So yeah, I think we are looking quite good, which is why so today, if you look at our portfolio, kita ada property 8, 9, 10% rental yield. Sebab apa rental tengah mahal, guys. Okay.
All right, so that's all the questions for tonight. So any last word before we finish?
I nampak the comments tu lah.
Yang
My
mana?
landlord trying to sell me Tropicana 700K for a 690 square foot unit. He stuck with 3 units. And then I rent it for 1,009 in the first year and 1,003 for second year lah. This is like a Muar story. I had a client asking me about a doctor in Muar mah, wanting to buy a semi-D. Semi-D cost 1.5 million. I asked me how much to rent. He said he's renting a semi-D for 1,000 per month. Rental yield 1%. Well, that's what happens when you have no supply. Right? That's what happens when you have no supply. You can ask for anything. What choice do you have? Who gives a shit about rental yield when there's no supply, right? So yeah, JB don't have that opportunity, by the way. Too many supply. Okay. So guys, thank you for joining. It's amazing that we have still close to 200 people online watching across multiple platforms. I hope you learn a lot of things. I think tonight is probably one of the best DOG we've had because we get to discuss multiple markets. And, you know, I got my team coming back from Penang, Sean coming back from Johor, all just sharing the latest perspective. So I thought people just come in with can buy or cannot buy. Now I think you get to learn a lot of new things of what is happening, what is changing, what is developer psychology, buying psychology in multiple markets. So personally for me, I think tonight is one of the best DOG that we have done. So with that, for those who are interested to become a client, who are looking to participate, buying the best possible deal, I think we've got the track record already. No one is doing better than us in Johor, Penang, KL, for that matter. If you want to buy property that can give positive cash flow, below market, explore to become a client. The investment is RM1 per day. And you get to buy property at berpuluh ribu, beratus ribu cheaper. Link is there. And again, I want to personally thank the panelists, Sean, Zakri, for making the time, especially after traveling and still joining us tonight. Hilang Suara pun join juga. Obviously, William, Albee, and Nazrin. And the research team of ACAP who has been working very hard, to make sure that we've got the rating correct, the research correct. So with that, I guess I'll see you guys in 2 weeks for our next DOG. Yeah. And yes, most of our properties are actually completed. So more than half of our property is completed property, not under construction. So with that, Assalamualaikum. Have a great week ahead, everyone. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.